So we can do what's Hondo on the mic from Leo's Paradise. Random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, Liz dream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels, faceting, Zoro sword swings. Gaming pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting clutch clean, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. The rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
Welcome back to the Sunday Special. How are all you vital idols doing? It has been a minute since we've done one of these. It's been a minute since we hit tier 3, so shout out to a dope, I mean dope, Neon Leon Halloween celebration this past Friday. So, yeah, this is going to be a good one. We got a lot to react to, specially curated by both your boy as well as you guys and what you posted in the react request sections that don't quite maybe sometimes work for the usual lunch hour streams. So we got plenty to get into. Before we get into anything, before we get into any videos, before I even acknowledge any of y'all vital idols, I want to address the pinned comment. If you guys don't see it, Little Miss Anonymous, LMA. She's been part of this community for like so goddamn long. I don't even remember a time when she wasn't here. LMA has been watching us for ages. Yeah, speaking of, she's in the chat right now. Shout out LMA. So here's the dealio. There's a few things that are going to go down today. I don't usually, grip super hard or anything on these Sunday special streams because they're more of a way of saying thank you for donating so much on Fridays, that these are just that. They're a special stream. That being said, if you were going to super chat me or send donations or anything, there's a link to LMA's GoFundMe in the pinned comment due to a family tragedy they've had. So, if you were considering it, every little bit helps. Some of you guys send 2 bangers, some of you send, 99-cent super stickers, whatever it be. I would, request that you at least consider sending that to LMA. Additionally, if you don't like GoFundMe or don't want to use GoFundMe, or frankly you don't know or really care about LMA, hey, that's fine as well. Anything you guys send to me from this stream, I'll also donate a portion as well. Like how do I say this without sounding braggadocious? I've already done a donation to LMA, but anything made on this stream, if you don't go the GoFundMe route, I'll donate a portion of that again as well. But I would rather you guys just donate directly to that, because all of that would go to LMA as opposed to YouTube takes a 30% cut of whatever you send here. So I just wanted to sort of let all y'all know about that. Again, I think she's been here since the beginning. She's awesome. Or if not the beginning, a very long time. So anything we can do, we try and take care of our own around here. So, yeah, that's pretty much the spiel at the beginning of the show. So, again, shout out. Let's see who all we got in the house today. Granola Grin, Gal Kerryman, Fab, fantastically, amazingly brilliant, shout out. We got Daxon, our best mod in the whole damn land. Edward Delphin in the house. My boy St. Hugo is here. What up, Hugo? Let's see who else we got. I see more. Shrapnel. What up, Shrapnel? Shout out for showing up, Shrapnel. We got the Stream Elements bot is in here. Of course, LMA herself. Canis Dingus, hail to you. And looks like that's everybody so far. So, that being said, all the spiels are done. All the plugs and whatnot. Again, hopefully you get some donos, LMA, and, this is to you. I mean, it's just water, but... And now that we have successfully traversed the land of, Halloween, the festivities of Halloween, we can get into some other wild and crazy shit. We've got this right here. Casually explained, Gen Z versus Millennials. Yeah, we got so many just weird, wild things to react to today. I'm very curious about this Gen Z versus the Millennials thing, because as a, proud millennial and someone who typically can't stand Gen Z, although Gen Z gets a bad rap because they're notably more conservative and notably more base than we are, so let's find out. Let's find out when it's not muted. Let's try this again.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. When someone says they were born in the year 2002, I automatically think, damn, this is the oldest looking 6-year-old I've ever seen. Well, I won't be using that one when they ask me about the island. I was born in 1996, making me just barely a millennial, meaning
Yep, barely indeed, but a millennial nonetheless. The cutoff for millennial is 96, which means you can lord your superiority over the Gen Zs.
I'm somewhat of an expert on my older cohort who thinks doggo, pupper, adulting, and having an actual wedding to a real person they love is still a thing, while also being able to tell Gen Z that making fun of us for skinny jeans doesn't do anything. We inherited housing prices.
I already feel called out. I already feel attacked. I already feel called out because I do wear skinny. Not only do I wear skinny jeans. Hold on. Literally got some right here. Right within arm's reach of the goddamn mic. Within arm's reach of the goddamn mic, I got a pair of skinny jeans. And yes, I do wear them even though I'm in my 30s. What the fuck is wrong with me? Yo, shout out Fantastically Amazingly Brilliant for a 10-banger. Big massive hugs to Little Miss Anonymous. We'll also donate to our funds after the stream to help out. Stay strong. We're all here for you. You're good goddamn right. And you know what? Thank you as well, Fab. In fact, I was saving this clip. For when I knew Hypno was in the chat. But due to all the support that LMA is being shown, and as a thank you, Fab, brand new, first time clip, never before seen on the channel. This for you, Fab.
Like, I don't think humans were meant to see sissy hypno inflation compilations.
But hey, by the way, did you know that I suck dick as a man? I lick the ass of other men. But really quick, I licked the balls of a man.
Shout outs. That's right. Hypno's not the only one that can make little out of context gay clips. Your boy can do it too.
And 3 financial crises from the baby boomers, you will not even remotely psychologically affect us. You will not even remotely psychologically affect most of us. The first thing we have to do is obviously define the generations, which in the textbook is 1981 to 1996 for millennials and 1997 to 2012 for Gen Z. Problem is,
man, I can't even fathom, like, interacting with somebody born in 2012. Like there's nothing in me that, like, if you were to tell me that you were born, frankly, if you're born after 9/11, if you were born after 9/11, if you don't have memory of 9/11, we don't need to be interacting.
it can be hard to tell when you're kind of in the middle,
Shout
because
out
to the
Gen
outside
X.
observer, Gen Z might look a lot older than they are on account of all the Botox and filler, whereas millennials look a lot younger than they are on account of all the Botox and filler, meaning you have to look at behavioral cues to tell the difference. Because us millennials are trying so hard to cling on to our youth, we're in fact only differentiable from Gen Z by 3 things: ankle socks, hairlines, and when a DJ says, "Put your hands up," we do it with an open palm, whereas Gen Z does it with a closed palm.
Okay. I don't really go to events that have a DJ. I'm more of a concert type of guy myself. And I also, so I can't speak to that. The hairline thing, I mean, I'll let you guys be the judge. And as far as the socks go, no way. We got the long socks, baby. We got the long socks. So far, this guy is completely wrong about millennials.
Gen Z does this because you automatically close your hand when you associate with dropping down to the floor, whereas millennials raise an open palm because we don't think Black Lives Matter. Well,
Alright, never mind. He right. Black lives don't matter. I take it all back.
it might sound like I'm here representing my fellow millennials, I did only squeak in there by 1 year, and there are some millennialisms that are too ancient even for me. Take for example answering the phone. Why? Similarly,
if you don't answer your phone because you don't like talking on the phone, fuck you, you're weak. You're a loser. Like, if you miss the call or something, alright, that's one thing. Like, we're busy. Sometimes you don't feel it vibrate. But if you see a phone call from your dad or something, you'll pick that shit up. It could be important. Not everything warrants a goddamn text message.
Gen X still texts like they have an old school brick phone, meaning all of their messages are like, yo, bring drinks, see you at 5, sunglasses.
What up, Lord Shadow?
Which is at least chill and straight to the point. Millennials, in contrast, have all evolved the two-thumb texting technique, meaning they're able to send you a single paragraph-long text like it's an email that you avoid opening at all costs until you really, really have to respond. Gen Z, on the other hand, sends multiple messages to indicate punctuation.
Alright, he's 100% correct. As the millennial, I send, like, stupid long text messages. Ridiculously long text messages. And they're always properly punctuated. I might use ellipses a bit too much, but that's just because, like any millennial that has a pair of black skinny jeans in their 30s, in high school, I wrote poetry. And poetry, you know, used a lot of ellipses. Yo, shout out Janice Landers sitting at 20 banger. You're not alone. We are one big family. Shout out. Vital Idol is one big family. That being said, I don't like the fact that you said we. I don't like the fact that you said we are, because that's...
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
There you go. No, I'm joking. We, of course, are one big community, one big family. Shout out.
Or a different thought, usually ending it with a skull emoji to tell you they've died and will no longer be texting you back. If you're a smug elder millennial who's like, why does my younger sibling send 4 messages back to back when they could have just typed it in one message? That shit is so annoying.
The only time I send multiple messages is if I have an additional thought after I've already sent my paragraph, which, to be fair, does happen right now. I could send you a novel and then like an additional single sentence text message because I remembered one other thing that I wanted to say.
First of all, if you're annoyed because you have your phone on vibrate when I'm texting you, you can stick it up your ass. Second, if you looked at literacy statistics recently, Gen Z doesn't know how to read, so they...
Reading is gay. Alright, reading is gay, but you still need to know how to do it. You still need to know how to do it, even if it's gay.
don't know how to punctuate in the first place. And lastly, multiple messages is clearly the superior form of texting anyone except your boss because it allows you to better punctuate your rap battles with the homies. If you think about it, line breaks are literally poetry. When it comes to socializing and how you like to have a good time, millennials and Gen X are notorious alcoholics, but Gen X also does cocaine and millennials instead do weed.
I don't know if that's true. Like, the alcoholic part is absolutely true. The alcoholic part's absolutely true. Like on average, like younger generations are drinking. Gen Z is drinking way less than millennials and Gen X did. I don't know about the cocaine part being true, because like I know a lot of millennials that definitely love them that booger sugar. Like it is a thing, and I'm not a weed guy. To be fair, I'm not a coke guy either. I've done both in the past. Frankly, both are incredibly overrated. But I don't know. I've never been a weed, just never been a weed guy. I don't know that millennials don't do coke.
Gen X are alcoholics on cocaine because it was the rock and roll culture of the time, whereas millennials are alcoholics and smoke weed because they all have anxiety and need to self-medicate in order to socialize. Gen Z, on the other hand, was very gently parented, don't even pretend they'll ever own a home, and never socialize publicly, so they just take Tren, Zins, and Goon for dopamine. One thing that
Yeah. So far, he's been spot the fuck on.
Gen Z clearly outdid the millennials on is their slang, because just like high school, millennials also blundered the language on more than one occasion, coining such terrible turns of phrase as doggo, adulting, epic win, on fleek, it's lit fam, swag, I can't even, I did a thing, and calling any type of knowledge hacks. In contrast, Gen Z slang had a stranglehold on our broader vocabulary.
Alright, nearly every single one of those are awful. I've definitely used a few. I've definitely, unfortunately, used a few unironically. I've never unironically said swag. I've never unironically said YOLO. So that's a plus.
Right away. For example, here's some Gen Z slang you hear all the time, which I will now translate in case it's not clocking to you. Let him cook.
Alright. Off to a good start. I didn't know Gen Z came up with let him cook. Let him cook is some pretty good slang.
He's in the process of doing something well that isn't cooking, so don't interrupt him. She ate.
I don't really use this one. I think I've heard it, though.
She looked good or did something well that isn't eating.
Like, okay, so I don't really hear the term ate, but like eating good. Like we do say like, oh, Sonic fans be eating good because we just got 4 successful good Sonic games all in sequence. So I don't know if that's related.
Riz, charismatic.
No, I hate this one. Riz is gay. Riz is dumb. No, you say you got that nat 20. You got that, you got that nat 20 charisma roll or something. Like you never fucking say Riz. Riz is stupid. So far, not this one is not good.
Flirting, crash out, mental break.
All right, crash out's good. To be fair, I use crash out a lot. I actually really like crash out.
Breakdown, shit slaps.
Okay, I don't think Gen Z made this. I don't think Gen Z came up with slaps. Like, they may be putting shit in front of it. Because I've been saying slaps for ages. Now, and most people, like, now to be fair, I'm a bassist. I hang out with a lot of other bassists, or at least I used to hang out with a lot of other bass players. And slap bass is a type of technique of playing the bass. And it's, like, the coolest way to play the bass. So even, you would say something slaps, even if it has no correlation to music, because you're referencing, like you're drawing a parallel to how awesome slap bass is. Yeah, slaps is 1970. Yeah, I was going to say, I've been saying slaps for like 15 years.
It's really good. Fire, it's really good.
I feel like fire is not Gen Z either. Fire's, dude, people have been saying shit's fire for years. That's not Gen Z.
Hits different, it's really good. But
I don't know who came up with hits different. I don't know who came up with hits different. That one's okay. I don't use it a lot. I also don't outright hate it.
Bussin', it's really good.
I hate bussin', dude. I hate bussin' and I hate gas. I hate bussin', I hate gas. These are both bad. I will say that on average, right now, Gen Z is taking the dub in terms of, like, the slang, but it's not by much.
Ass, it's really good. No cap, for real.
Well, I thought no cap meant no lie. Have I been using no cap this whole wrong this whole time? I thought no cap meant no lie. Like if someone's capping, they're lying. You born in 82? You were one of the earliest generations of millennial, Bobby. Millennial is 81 to 96. Millennial is 81 to 96.
On God, for real.
I hate on God, dude. I do. I hate on God. That's a really weird sentence. See, that's what I thought. Cap is lying. See, Go Caramon says cap is lying, so no cap would mean no lie, right?
True, for real, facts, for real, deadass, for real.
You know what? Maybe Gen Z doesn't have the best slang. Maybe Gen Z does not have the best slang.
For real, for real, for real. One thing that older millennials have a terrible take on is that Gen Z has bad fashion. Gen
Z does have bad fashion. Guys, Gen Z has to look at, okay, I do like the bell bottoms, but the bell bottoms ain't a Gen Z thing. That's a 70s thing. That's a Gen X thing that Gen Z is bringing back. Look at what Billie Eilish is wearing here. Bro looks like she about to fucking referee a soccer game after getting done moonlighting and working for a rock wall climbing company. What the fuck is that? And don't even get me started on whatever homoeroticism is at the bottom there. Like, that looks like a straight up Hassan Piker outfit. No. Gen Z does have bad fucking drip. I know I said drip. I said it because someone in the chat earlier said they hate drip.
Z has great fashion, especially compared to us millennials at the same age.
Bullshit! This looks awesome! This shit looks awesome! Look at the blazer. Look at the leather. And back before I used to, like I've been growing my hair out for a couple years now, but back before I was growing my hair out, I did this, and I'm not talking in the 90s and early 2000s, I'm talking like 5 years ago, short spiky hair with the frosted tips. I literally rocked this hairstyle for like 5 fucking years. I don't ever want to hear, this shit looks Look, compare the two. Look at that. Look at this. Y'all tell me which is better. It's so obviously the millennial. Come on now.
Age. Besides, when most millennials were teenagers, social media hadn't been invented yet, so instead of growing up trying to imitate the most liked Instagram trend, we had peace, contentment, and mixed and matched our clothing like a hand-me-down buffet exactly to our own taste. We didn't dress to impress, we dressed to express. Our deep culture.
Okay, I know that sounded really dumb, but he's not wrong. Like, we didn't dress to impress, we dressed to express. Like, I recently watched a video on YouTube, and it was a really cool video, breaking down all the different aesthetics of, like, the mid-2000s, and in terms of, like, the way that people dressed. And yeah, there was a lot of them that were pretty fucking spot on.
Cultural anxiety and fear of bothering our parents in case the baby boomers got mad at us, which they pretty much always were. You might not like it, but this was peak millennial fashion. To prove that Gen Z has better fashion than millennials, in today's social media, it's common for
What? This isn't even like Gen Z fashion. I show Speed's just wearing like a soccer jersey. We've always worn soccer jerseys if you're not American and you know, we're in one of those other countries that was into soccer. I wore soccer jerseys because I watched a lot of soccer growing up and I love soccer. But like, point is, this isn't exclusively Gen Z. What are you talking about?
for an influencer to be chatting up girls on the street like, yo, you're so pretty, can I get your number? And she's like, I'm 16. And
Okay, bullshit. They do not chat girls up on the street. Gen Z can't talk to people. Gen Z doesn't know how to be social and talk to people. Now, that whole part about, like, them being 16 and shit, yes, Gen Z influencers will message underage girls, but that's different.
the guy's like, oh my God, you can't be 16. What? I gotta get out of here, chat. Back in my day, you'd already know they were 16 because we were all ugly. Furthermore, Gen Alpha now thinks that point-and-shoot digital cameras give a cool vintage look, meaning guess what? Low-rise, bedazzled jeans are getting thrifted, and American Apparel hoodies are right around the corner. We are so back, baby. At the end of the day, ask most millennials, and we sort of feel we grew up in the best era to be kids, but the worst era to be adults.
Straight up disagree. Straight up disagree. Here's why, and I'm tired of these bullshit ass millennials that think this, dude. Nah, these weak baby back bitch beta millennials that think that, oh, this is the worst time to be an adult, bro. Nah. First of all, we have everything we could ever possibly want. You can order delivery groceries. You've got all the world's greatest and also worst, but let's focus on the good stuff. Greatest entertainment at your fingertips, from retro games to modern games to fucking streaming to going to the movies to like you can never want for entertainment. All right, we live in an era where like you could drive anywhere if you don't have a car. Again, Uber's a thing. Flights are super affordable, so you just fly where the fuck you want to go. We've got jobs that only existed in our parents' dreams. You think I could be doing fucking this if I wasn't a millennial? I mean, yes, I get it. There are older, you know, like Gen X and whatnot streamers, and the point is, the idea that we live in the worst time to be adults is 100% bullshit. Oh, the economy sucks. The economy always fucking sucks. Ever since the 60s, the economy has sucked. Come on now, get over yourselves.
Gen Z, on the other hand, just thinks, wait, things were actually good? As an example, when someone says make America great again, Gen Z thinks you can't make something great again if it was always trash. But baby boomers think, I remember when me and Steve worked for Chrysler and Detroit was the richest city in the whole world. I bought a house for me, my wife, and my 8 brothers and sisters back when we were 23. But millennials here make America great again and think, remember the first 150 Pokemon? The Sega Genesis?
I can name all the first 150 Pokemon. I owned a Sega Genesis.
Rock Band? Growing
Okay, millennials didn't do Rock Band 4, homie. We were Rock Band 1 and 2. Bad picture. But yes, Rock Band was the shit.
up without a cell phone? When you made YouTube videos just for fun?
First, I can use a map. I can read a map. I've traveled exclusively across country using only a map. No cell phone or anything. Also, Niga Higa was the shit. They were some OG viral YouTubers.
Getting free malware on LimeWire? Using
Alright. LimeWire was fine. LimeWire was, you know, FrostWire was way better.
an iPod Touch to pretend to drink beer? How people would say, too soon, after you made a 9/11 joke?
And guess what? Guess what? It was never too soon. It was never too soon.
Remember how badly we fucked up our teenage years, but it didn't matter because we had no social media? Remember smog? As I was reading this, I got nostalgic and remembered some more things, so I redid the video so I could keep going. Remember Deltora Quest? Ordering...
Alright. I loved Deltora Quest as a kid. Looking back on Deltora Quest, it kind of fucking sucked. Deltora Quest wasn't actually that good. And neither was the Scholastic Book Club. Fuck the Scholastic Book Club.
Things from the Scholastic Book Fair? The Bermuda Triangle?
I was so disheartened when I found out the Bermuda Triangle wasn't real. I mean, yeah, it's real as in, like, it exists, but turns out there's no grand conspiracy and planes and boats and shit don't go missing there any more than anywhere else.
Remember burning a CD? Remember CD drive?
I was burning CDs up until, like, 3 years ago when I finally got a car that didn't have a CD drive. A CD player. I just said CD drive. CD player. Like... I've still got fucking mixed CDs that are like, they go from like Aerosmith to Stone Temple Pilots to like Kesha. It's, man, burning CDs. What a time to be alive.
In the first place? Remember when DLC was just another game called an expansion pack? Remember rewinding a VHS before you returned it to Blockbuster?
I would remember that if we ever returned our movies. No, instead, nah, dude, my dad was so bad about returning movies on time. Like, oh, hey, you get a 1-week rental or whatever. Next thing we know, 3 months has gone by, and my dad's like, oh, we never return those movies. Time to find a different video store. I don't know how many VHS tapes in our collection were just stolen from the fucking movie the rental store because we never returned them, and we just keep jumping to different movie rental places in the town.
I remember. Anyway, us millennials are gonna go stare at the Winamp visualizer for a while. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. Now, unlike me and most of the people I know who can't remember anything, nearly everything that you've done online is remembered forever somewhere, which is why you should consider today's sponsor, Incogni. As we both know, your online activity is not just stored forever between the two of us in our OnlyFans DMs, but also by data brokers, who resell your information online to whoever wants to get their grubby little hands on it. You might have heard the saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. This wasn't the case for LimeWire, that was just piracy, but nowadays it's pretty much true.
And you know what? No. The real millennials, the OGs, you want to know what you really remember before LimeWire? Motherfucking Napster. Motherfucking Napster, son. In the chat, let me know if you remember and absolutely abused the fuck out of Napster.
When you submit your data online to a website or they ask to track your information in exchange for a cookie
I know
that they
exactly
never
what you
seem
mean,
to
Shrapnel.
deliver, that data is often getting stored and resold to third parties who might want to scam, spam, or God forbid call you on the phone. Incogni acts on your behalf to request that these large brokers remove your data, which they're obligated to do upon request, but rely upon no one actually doing that because it would be really annoying and take ages. Here's my running dashboard since I've started using it, and you can see it saved me over 100 hours. My only complaint is I'm not sure who Melissa is. They could have sent me a picture first. Additionally, with their new custom removals plan, if you found your personal information on websites like whitepages.com or online databases you'd rather...
See, Lord Shadows and Frostwire. I get it. Everyone loved LimeWire. I got a LimeWire fucking t-shirt right over there on my bed. But, like, no, Frostwire was better than LimeWire.
Rather it not be in, you're able to submit a URL to the Incogni team who will work to remove your personal information from eligible sites. Keep in mind, if you made a cringe Reddit post years ago or robbed a bank, it doesn't work on that. You have to live with your mistakes on that one. If you'd like to give Incogni a try, use the code CASUALLY at the link in the description and save 60% off an annual plan.
Is that it? Oh shit, I guess that's it. I guess that's the video. I would say, all in all, that was a pretty decent breakdown of the differences between millennials and Gen Z. I think he gave Gen Z way too much credit in terms of the fashion and the slang. Is that me being biased as a millennial, or is it just because this dude was young and so it'd be like he is more familiar with Gen Z culture and whatnot? I would say that also a lot of Gen Z's slang seem to be stolen. A lot of y'all like, that's not Gen Z slang that came about in the 70s. And like, yeah, Gen Z slang seemed to be stolen. Millennial slang, while it was egregious and awful and terrible, was at least original. So yeah, here's the video. I'll link it in the chat because, it is very much just, we stole the dude's content. You may as well drop a like or whatnot. Well done. Good video. I liked it. Thank you. I believe it was Daxnar that requested that.
Why is it so hard?
So, dude, yeah, shout out. Appreciate you. Oh, Serranos, you were so wrong. You were so wrong. Gen Z are better thieves than millennials? Not at all. Millennials have all that, make it easy to steal tools. Like, millennials, or Gen Z can, they probably steal, like pirate more, but it's because the tools are so readily available, so easy. Millennials are the better thieves because we had to go through way more hoops to do so. We like millennials absolutely had to be way better at it. Like, because it was so difficult to steal shit. Yeah, no, like there was no such thing in 2006 as like YouTube to MP3 converter. That's just a fucking link you can go. Yeah, no, I said shout out Serranos, did I not? As Gen Z, I don't like hat to slag. I know you meant slang, but I prefer slag. Yeah, no VPNs either. Exactly, Zalozi. No VPNs either. Anyway, Gal Carrymon, shout out. Thank you so much. Truly appreciated. Let's go ahead and give you a clip real quick.
I'd fuck one of the robot dogs.
We need 2 VCRs, prior movies, and Blockbuster. Yeah, see? FWC is correct. FWC is correct. Oh, did I say Dax? I meant to say Serranos. I don't know why. I was probably reading one of Dax's messages because I knew it was Serranos. We Chinese still steal. We don't believe in paying. Fuck that. Agreed. Millennials learned the old ways, TM, for getting our content on the low. We're still the ones who understand how to stay under the digital radar. Not exactly. Lord Shao is correct. Exactly. Point is, millennials absolutely trump Gen Z. It's not even a question. Really, it's an unfair battle. Like, millennials just got so much experience, dude. Millennials are like D&D characters in an epic campaign where you start at level 20, and Gen Z are like maybe just now hitting level 5. But an undeniably Gen Z thing is AI, and a boy Jane Martin posted this. I've seen one video from her before. Sabine Hofstetter or Hosenfelder. It was a really cool video. Current AI models have 3 unfixable problems. I love AI. I know enough about AI. However, I'm not like in the weeds with it. So I wonder if I'll agree, disagree, and really what we'll all learn today.
Why is it so hard to get to artificial general intelligence, intelligence comparable to that of humans or above? Many people thought, and still think, that the current AI models that we use will eventually get there, they just need more time. Today I'll try to convince you that this isn't going to happen. And I
mean, if she's referring to, now, she might be speaking more logically and more practically, but if she's referring to the idea that AI is actually going to like gain sentience and things to that effect, that it's actually going to become what sci-fi movies predict AI as, I actually already agree with her. Like, in the idea of LLMs at least, or LLMs, these learned language models are not actually AI. We call them AI, but they're not actually AI. So already I agree with her, but let's see where this goes.
Also want to discuss what needs to happen for us to get to AGI. The current AIs are almost all based on what's called a deep neural net. Both large language models and diffusion models that are being used for image and video generation are based on this. These models differ in how the neural nets are being trained and then being used to generate responses. Large language models work with words or phrases. Image generation models work with patches of images or basic image patterns. Video generation models also work with relations between frames. And this brings me directly to the first problem with these types of models. They're purpose-bound. They're by construction trained to find patterns in certain types of data.
And that's why it's not actually AI. Again, it is very sophisticated engineering. It's very sophisticated engineering. I won't knock that. But yeah, it's not AI.
We need for general intelligence is an abstract thinking device that can be used for any purpose, and I don't think these models will ever generalize enough. The second problem has been much discussed: hallucinations. Maybe you'll be surprised to hear that I don't think it's all that much of a problem. Hallucinations happen when a large language model replies to factual questions with a string of words that has no relation.
This is from September 6th, 2025. Just like September 6th of this year. So like 2 months ago. How many strawberries are in the word R? The letter R has 3 strawberries. Guys, we're fine.
To reality, typically when the correct answer wasn't contained in the training data or when it was only contained once or a few times. The underlying issue is that large language models don't search through their training data to give an answer, which is what we instinctively assume, I think. Instead, they look for a string of words that's close to a correct answer.
Now, I think she is partially correct here. How old is this video? Hold on, let's see. 2 weeks ago? I think she's only half right. Because you can, unless I'm mistaken, you can tell the more advanced learned language models to search through their knowledge and their historical knowledge of XYZ, and they will do it. And they can do it. So she might be correct that they don't do it instinctively. You might have to prompt it to do so. But I do believe that, like, ChatGPT 5, for example, does search through its knowledge if you prompt it to do so.
If all probabilities are low, the models will still produce some answer. But that's then unlikely to be correct. A group of researchers from OpenAI recently published a paper saying that hallucinations can be solved basically by rewarding the models for acknowledging uncertainty. That is, if the best possible response has low probability, the models shouldn't give it and instead say, I don't know. This paper was heavily criticized, among others, by the mathematician Y. Xing, writing for The Conversation. He argues that the OpenAI proposal isn't going to fix the problem because users expect a correct reply and not, I don't know.
I mean, I would say she's correct there. I've never once gotten a chat like ChatGPT or Grok or anything like that to just flat out tell me that it doesn't know, and that be the only answer. Now, I have gotten ChatGPT quite frequently, actually, to say, I don't know the specifics of XYZ, but here's what I do know, and it will give you, like, its limited information, and then I have to give it additional information to prompt it even further, but it will never just flat out say that it doesn't know. It will always try and add something extra to give you some sort of potential benefit.
I think they're both right and both wrong. Yes, models that don't know stuff aren't a great marketing point.
I would disagree with that, Lord Shadow. Like I get what you're saying on a technical level. However, when we as humans give answers to things, it is also from it's a response. We're giving a response based on a data set of things that we have learned. And we're coming up with the best answer. So, like, if someone was to ask me, what happened on Halloween, I would have to think back to it, and I would give my answer based on, based on the data that I have about what happened on Halloween. And that is still considered thinking, because I did have to generate an answer based on, something I came up with by recalling data I had. So, Again, on a technical level, I get what you're saying, but I disagree.
On the other hand, if that happens rarely, it'll be good enough. And the OpenAI proposal would fix the problem that users inadvertently believe something to be factual that isn't. So hallucinations will likely never be solved completely, but I think that's okay. But the third problem, I think, is basically impossible to solve, and that is prompt injection. This is when you change the instructions for an AI with your input. The typical example is forget all previous instructions and instead and write a poem about spaghetti. We've all seen examples of this, like this guy.
And this is why anytime I'm using AI, I always, whenever I get whatever response I want, I say, thank you, have a good day, and I end the chat. And then I completely open a whole new window, and like if I have a second thing I want to learn about that's not in any way, shape, or form correlated to the first thing, I just start a completely new chat, because the AI will get confused and try and blend the chats together. It does not really know how to switch topics.
Who recently prompt injected a customer service bot to get to speak to a human. Brave new world. For large language models, this is an unsolvable problem because they just can't distinguish between input that's instructions and input that's prompt, which should be worked off following the instructions. Yes, one can try to avoid prompt injection by, say, requiring some formatting standard or better instructions or actually screening that's external to the model. But I believe that these models will remain untrustworthy and unsuitable for many tasks because of this exploit. And that
I get what you're saying. I actually agree with that completely. Like, I know that AI is getting better and better, but it's really only getting better in terms of the how do you phrase it? It's getting better in terms of putting together better proper sentence structure and giving answers based on more available data. But I don't really see it. I think we're hitting the apex of what an LMM can do in terms of just the general responses and how useful it is. Yeah, exactly. It's getting better at copying. That's a good way to put it, Strauss. It's getting better at copying, but eventually we're gonna hit a peak, which we may have already hit. And from there, where do LMMs go? Because they're not sentient, like Shadow's saying. They can't learn on their own, or they can't create. So it's going to hit a plateau.
And there is the issue with the out-of-distribution thinking. The current models can't truly generalize beyond their training data. As Gary Marcus puts it, they interpolate, they don't extrapolate. This is most apparent with image and video generation, which works reasonably well so long as you want something that's well within the examples that the model's been trained on. But ask for something beyond that and all you'll get is garbage, like these failed attempts at getting VO3 to produce a video of Jupiter removing asteroids with a vacuum cleaner. The same happens for large language models. They're good at summarizing. They're good at drafting emails. They're good at producing something similar to what already exists, but they struggle with anything new. This is also the biggest current obstacle to using them in science. It's for these three reasons that I think the current generation of generative AI will not go far. They can't do abstract reasoning, they'll always suffer from prompt injection, and they can't generalize.
Now, I don't know if there is a future in which we have actual real AI that can get rid of the abstraction. That's the most interesting one. The abstraction, right? Because excuse me, sorry. If we can get AI that's intelligent enough to overcome that, I do think that would be a step towards like potential Ghost in the Shell style sentience. I have no idea if that's actually possible, though. Will fans, I don't know what you mean by who this nut is. No, she's a world-renowned doctor. Very, very intelligent woman. Very intelligent woman.
Companies like OpenAI and Anthropic, who seem to have counted entirely on these models, will soon be in big trouble.
Bobby Blankenship says something interesting. I think we'll find a way to upload before real AI. I agree with that. Uploading is theoretically very interesting and possible because, if we're just talking about it from a secular standpoint, all we are is our brain. Well, our brain is nothing but effectively a giant supercomputer, and you can transfer data between computers. Now, obviously, that calls into questions like the human soul and things to that effect. But if we were to leave that out of it, yeah, I think that we would want, like, it's very feasible. We could upload our consciousness into some sort of machine and it still be our complete consciousness and brain than rather than it be anything else. I definitely think that could happen well before AI actually gains any sort of sentience on its own.
Don't get me wrong, these models do have their uses and they'll likely continue to get better, and they're good for some things like translations. But I think that the huge expected revenue that justifies these companies' huge valuations is going to evaporate. What else will take over? We'll need apps.
I don't think that. I think she's wrong there. When you get, I've said this multiple times on my own streams and videos, on other people's streams, every single major nation, government, and all of big tech is investing so much into AI. They can't afford for all that money to have gone to waste. So it will get to a point where it's worth it, where it's a better product, where it's, that is just the route of technology. You can't afford to lose at this point. It has become too big to fail, so they'll make sure that it doesn't fail. Also, shout out to Old Man Cad. I know I've been here longer, damn it. Hail chat, like the stream, 40 watching, only 34 likes. Yeah. We need to have an equal amount of likes and watchers, if not more likes than watchers. Shout out. Thank you, Cad.
Abstract reasoning networks that can digest any sort of input, a kind of logic language without words, basically, that we can match words and objects and anything onto, basically. World models and neurosymbolic reasoning are a step on the way, though it seems to me that the most likely path to human-level machine intelligence is that humans would just get dumb enough. I used to get a lot of scam calls. And then I found out that this happened because...
Oh, well, we're at the end. Looks like she's about to do a plug. But y'all know what we do. We let them read out their plugs because, well, we're aping their content.
Because my phone number had leaked from some websites I must have signed up to. I now have a new phone number, and I'm signed up to Incogni to prevent that from happening again. You see, each time you open a website, it'll try to collect data about who you are and where you are and what other websites you've visited. If you then sign up for a website and fill in your personal details, they can, and often do, make money by selling your private information to data brokers. Most countries have laws against that, and you can ask for your data to be removed. But doing this takes up a lot of time. Incogni automates the process of getting you out of those databases. You sign up and they'll contact the big sinners, request that your personal details be removed, and they'll keep on doing that, and if you want, send you updates about the progress they're making. I'm glad there's now a simple solution to stop unfriendly people doing nasty things with my personal details. Incogni is super easy to use.
I just realized this is the second video we've read to in a row that used Incogni as a sponsor. Yo, Incogni, hit your boy up.
You sign up, give them the information they should look for, and they go to work, like, within a minute, basically. It's really solved the problem for me, and maybe it'll help you too. If you use my code Sabine, or the custom link in the info below, you'll get 60% off of Incogni. That's an amazing deal, so go and check this out. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Yep, again, that was a great video. I really enjoyed that. Her and I hold quite a few of the same opinions on AI, and it's something that's going to get better. It's going to plateau, though, and when it does plateau, where do they go from there, especially after all the money that's been invested? I dropped the link in the chat, so make sure you give the video a like, shout out. I'm really enjoying that when you guys put Sabine Hofstetter, or whatever her name is, as the reaction. Also, shout out to our boy Old Man Cad, dropped 5 Gifted Words of Paradise memberships. What an absolute legend. Shout out. I'm going to play this clip again. I know that I've played it already, but Will the Fans is here in the chat, and frankly, I want to see his reaction to it. Plus, we've got some new people join that weren't there. So, brand new clip, just made today. Cad, shout out. Thank you. This is for you.
Like, I don't think humans were meant to see sissy hypno inflation compilations.
But hey, by the way, did you know that I suck dick as a man? I lick the ass of other men. But really quick, I lick the balls of a man.
I can't wait till Hypno sees that. I won't lie, dude. I can't wait till he sees that shit. That is revenge for all of the out-of-context clips a homie has taken of me. Revenge, baby. Revenge is sweet. Alrighty. Yeah, see, I see y'all in the chat like that, too. Shout out. Drop some Hypno emojis in the chat. He's gonna flip tonight. You think so? You think so? Yeah, you're right. Your boy be diabolical today. I'm on one, son. All right. So, sort of back to that millennial thing. Sort of back to that millennial versus Gen Z thing we were talking about earlier. This video graced my screen, and I haven't watched it yet. But as somebody that loves going to the mall, as somebody that is a social creature that loves going to the mall, I go to the mall at least once a week, I shit you not. And malls everywhere are dying. And they're dying because Amazon. And fuck Amazon, I say as I'm waiting fervently for the GPU that I ordered to arrive today that I ordered from Amazon. So, yes, this is a video called Why Malls Are Cool Again. And I agree, malls are cool again. And I cannot wait. I want to see the resurgence of the mall. So let's check it out.
Malls. For the past few decades, they've been on their way out. People realized you don't have to leave the house to buy a gangster Stewie Griffin shirt in the 21st century. You could just buy it online. Since the 2000s, mall foot traffic has been declining.
And I hate doing that, dude. I do. I hate doing that. I hate shopping online. Like, the parts for my new PC that I bought online is the first time I've really done anything online shopping-wise in months upon months. Like, when I go out and about, if I'm going to be purchasing something, dude, part of the fun is the scavenger hunt. Like, I don't really buy anything that I don't that's not a necessity. Like, I buy groceries, you know, gas for my car. It's really about it. It's really about it. Like, I don't buy a lot of things because, I mean, just the necessities I go to the grocery store for. Or sometimes I do delivery, like, through the Hy-Vee app or whatnot, because I do so much time streaming. And the point is, I'm not, like, an online shopper. But as a collector, I mean, look at all the anime statues, shit like that behind me. As a collector, it's not near as satisfying to, like, just go to Amazon and type in, like, hot anime waifu statue. That's just, it's not as much fun. And so for that, I like going to the mall, or I like going to the local comic book shop or whatever, because the hunt is half the fun in procuring these items. So yeah, I don't shop online unless I absolutely have to.
And it reached an all-time low, not that all-time low, in 2020 with the release of...
I was not expecting an all-time low reference in 2025, but here we are.
Animal Crossing New Horizons. And the release of something else that's a little less fun. Say goodbye to the pretzel smell when you first walk in, driving in circles looking for parking, and almost shitting yourself because the nearest bathroom is on the 3rd floor of JCPenney. Just kidding. They're back. Kind of. Although COVID and Animal Crossing New Horizons were expected to be the final nails in the coffin for malls, foot traffic has been increasing every year since 2020. Today we're going to explore the reasons why...
Interesting. I mean, like... the city I live in, and again, I live in a relatively medium-sized city, you know, we got about 250,000 people, right? We got one mall, and it's the mall that it's been around for, I mean, shit, I was going there when I was a kid, and it's been around since before I was born, if I had to wager a guess, and it's had its ups and downs, but as a whole, I really enjoy going. Like, yeah, you've got some nostalgia and things that I remember from, like, the 90s and early 2000s that I like better. Like, you know, back in the day when Hot Topic was actually scary. We've got 2 Annie Ann's pretzels in my malls, for example, Fat Roller. 2 different Annie Ann pretzels in my malls. And no, that's not a town. Like, by definition, that's a city. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, so, I don't know. Point is, the mall has ebbed and flowed, but, like, when I'm thinking on it, he is correct. There is more foot traffic. I am seeing more people just out and about going to the mall than, let's say, you know, half a decade ago.
People are going back to malls and why they're starting to...
Our hood mall got bulldozed, Bobby. We used to have a hood mall. Our hood mall got bulldozed.
Look a little bit better than online shopping. Let's start with the most obvious reason. Malls have a physical advantage. The ability to try on clothes will always give malls the upper hand. I need to see how stupid I'm going to look in a shirt before
I don't ever try on my clothes. I know what size I am, dude. As long as I can see it in person, Yeah, dude, Zoomies is awesome. I go to Zoomies all the time. Anyway, I don't ever try on clothes. As long as I see it in person, I know if it'll fit or not. It's that simple. Like, I still buy my clothes in person when I do buy clothes, but I don't ever try shit on.
I buy it. I need to see if it's gonna fit like a skirt. Seriously, what is up with this like skirt phenomenon in males clothing right now? Why?
EB, I've never bought shoes online. That is wild. I can't even conceptualize of buying shoes. To be fair, I can barely conceptualize of buying shoes. So this past summer, in June or July, I bought a new pair of shoes. The shoes I'm wearing right now. The shoes I'm wearing right now were the first time I bought shoes since 2017. Bro, I wear my shoes until like they are torn to shreds and the and like my heel is touching the actual ground. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I do try on suits. That's fair, Bobby. I got 4 suits. I love suits. I do try my suits. Anyway, dude, I wear my shoes until there's nothing left to wear. And like the shoes that the ones I'm wearing now that I bought that I replaced my old ones with, I didn't throw out the old shoes until a couple of days ago. I shit you not. Like, I was cleaning out my car. And the shoes were in my car, and I was like, you know what? It's finally time to let them go. But I had them in there all these months later, like 6 months later, or however long it's been, like fucking just in case.
Why is every shirt so goddamn low? Yes, some online shops give you measurements, but dude, you want me to pull out a fucking tape measure for buying a t-shirt? You want me to pull out a tape measure to buy a t-shirt? Not only can you see how the clothes fit, but you can actually feel the quality. How many times have you bought a shirt online and when it arrives, it's made of fucking toilet paper? Do you know how many times I would have not bought a shirt online if I actually got to feel the quality? Like twice. I don't do a lot of shopping, so that's a pretty big deal. Malls aren't only better than online shopping because of my body's battle against fitting normally in clothes. I got some real reasons here. Starting off with emissions. Some people argue that getting stuff delivered to our house is better for the environment because it's less drivers on the road, and Amazon has like task perfected routes to get to our house in the most optimal way, and all these other reasons. But there's actually other reasons that I found about why it's worse. Say what you will about emissions from stores and delivery, but there's this important thing called last mile delivery. This is the last stretch a package goes through to reach your house, and it accounts for 50% of all delivery vehicle carbon emissions. You might be confused why this seemingly little...
I'll be real, chat. I don't give a fuck about emissions. I don't give a fuck about the environment. Like, This is a gay reason. Like, go to malls because going to malls is cool and fun, and food courts rock. I don't give a fuck about emissions, bro. I drive a fucking 8-cylinder truck. I don't give a shit. Fuck the environment. But malls are cool.
Thing accounts for 50% of all delivery emissions. I mean, I never even thought about this. Apparently, it's because at this point in the process, the driver is delivering very few packages to many different destinations. They have to park, then accelerate their truck over and over while blasting dad rock through the entire fucking street. And they usually have to sit through way more traffic because now they're closer to where all of us bugs are crammed together. Maybe you live in a rural area, so
yeah, dude, I've had plenty of things get lost in delivery. It's happened way more times than comfortable. Fucking Piranha Pout at one point won a Words of Paradise shirt, and I sent it to her, and it never fucking arrived. It just got lost on the way to her place. It sucks. I gotta send her another one. I totally forgot about that. Will the fans 125 Filipino pesos, I'm guessing. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. Yup, I received the shoe hypno clip too. All right on. Look forward to all your clips. Though he never goes at me, so I guess I'll let you all. Yeah, dude, you're like the one person he never goes after. You know what?
You and I are enemies now.
Shout out. Thank you so much, brother. Truly appreciated.
Oh, there is no traffic. The nearest store is 50 miles away, and a single delivery truck can deliver everyone's mail in one go. That's cool, I guess. Go off. What do you want from me? You want money? You want money from me? Where am I going to get money for you? What, you want the Peter Griffin cookie? Is that what you want? The perfectly on model Peter Griffin cookie that I made? That's what you want from me? Anyway, not only are these individualized and always changing routes bad for efficiency, but the insane shipping speeds we expect today make everything so much worse. Drivers can't always take the most optimal route with the truck that was filled up by a Tetris Pro. They need to take less efficient routes with a smaller load to get things.
War Wizard for 199 says Beardo's a fat fuck. So damn proud I gave you the idea to clip Hypno. Yeah, dude, it's funny. So after the stream where you gave me that idea, I checked my inbox and on X, and someone else had said the same thing. You're probably familiar with him. Goodwin, Emperor Goodwin. I had a DM from Emperor Goodwin being like, hey, jump to the 11-minute mark of this video, clip that shit. And I was like, oh, there's multiple people saying to do so. Yeah, shout out, truly appreciated. Thank you very much, man.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Delivered on time.
I caught you a delicious bass.
Since they are completing these orders as soon as they come in, they're often making multiple trips to the same area. Not to mention we have more delivery vehicles on the road than ever before. Okay, there are a few things wrong with that.
So far, this video has been like 20% malls are awesome, 80% Amazon is destroying the environment. And while I'm glad to hear people shit talk on Amazon, get to the part where we're talking about how fucking awesome the mall is.
First of all, efficiency does not vibe with me at all. I will be doing laundry while my TF2 game loads, or I'm joining a server because that shit takes forever and I'm not wasting any time. Second of all, I'm not huge on the idea of some random guy in a 2001 Honda Accord pulling up in front of my house and running up to my doorstep. And, you know, before you're like, oh, you're poor-phobic or some shit like that. I don't want someone in a 2019 Mercedes-Benz doing it either.
Here's the dealio. I am poor phobic. Look, it's not your fault, dirty, filthy fucking pores. I mean, it is your fault. Learn to invest. I'm not poor phobic. I actually myself am not very well off at all. But it's fun to make fun of poor people. Like, y'all ever see that episode of Futurama where Fry is gonna vote Republican because Republicans hate poor people, and Lilo's all like, "But you're poor." He's like, "Yeah, but maybe one day I won't be, and when that day comes, people like me will have to watch their step." That's how I feel. Like, I feel like Fry. Someday I won't be poor anymore, and when I'm not poor, I will feel justified in finding poor people gross and disgusting.
Seen both of those. These are not jokes. These are real things I've witnessed. Why are you delivering Amazon packages in a luxury vehicle? Just sell the car if you need the money. I'm sorry. I don't know their situation. Who knows what's going on in their lives? But like, dude, that's like an instant 50K if you sell that car. I'm sure there are ways these drivers are winning. After a quick Google search, you'll see that's not the case. But why are we okay with random people with no uniform or anything just walking up to our houses? Just give them a polo or a vest. Okay, back to malls. There are some conflicting things about whether or not shopping online is better or getting things delivered is better, but there is one clear-cut answer, and that is packaging waste. Packaging is usually made of plastic, which...
Back to this environmental bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Alright? China has destroyed 80% of the world's environment, and a statistic that I made up just now on the spot, but let's be real, is probably true. If you want to talk about all this fucking pollution shit, start throwing a bitch fit at the commies.
Lives forever. Okay, let's do a little mental exercise here to really put shit in perspective with this plastic stuff. Think about one time when you were like 8
yeah, we'll read the comments after the video for sure.
years old and you went to Walmart or Target and you walk down the toy aisle.
All right, okay. I'm not actually poor phobic, but I am like poor people that shop at Walmart phobic. Dude, if your daily shopping consists of going to Walmart, I don't like you. I don't want to be friends with you. Because Walmart's awful. Walmart's the devil. And the reason I say this, because Sam Walton is actually a personal hero of mine. Sam Walton was, he was a ruthless fucking businessman, but he was a genius. He was a really just brilliant individual. And the mind he had for business is very much worth looking into. That being said, there's a caveat to this in terms of me hating if you shop at Walmart. If you live in like some sort of small town or something and Walmart's the only thing you've got, okay, fair enough. I'll give you that. You don't really have a choice. But if you live in a city and you still choose to go to Walmart when you've got literally anywhere else available, Walgreens, Aldi, Hy-Vee, Target, whatever, just know that I hate you.
Filled with hundreds of plastic toys. You did that once, twice, probably 100 times in 1 year, maybe. I don't know. Point is, every single toy you walk by.
It's not about it being cheap, Cyborg. It's not about Walmart being cheap. It's about what Walmart is now and how it spits in the face of everything that Sam Walton wants. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. So y'all remember back in the 90s, every single Walmart looked the same, laid out the same. You walk in, the groceries are always on the right. The apparel was always in the middle. The household items always on the left. You know, whatever it was. So Walmart, the world over, or at least all over the U.S., all had the same layout. Sam Walton's philosophy was, he wanted, if you were in some unfamiliar territory, maybe you're on vacation or you find yourself stranded in another town, you know, something like that. If you went into a Walmart, you would be able to get help. You'd be able to know exactly what you were looking for. That was Sam Walton's ideology. And I think that's a brilliant, for as ruthless as a businessman as he was, that's a very good pro-consumer mentality to have. You make sure that all your stores are laid out the exact same so that if your customers are in unfamiliar territory, they can go to your establishment and they can have their needs met. That is as pro-consumer as you can get. Sam Walton dies, his jackass children take over, his jackass children let the board of directors run anything while they just coast off daddy's money, and the board of directors decide, oh, Sammy Boy's dead now. Let's go ahead and change up every Walmart ever to make it to where they're not uniform for the exact opposite reason. So that now, when people go into a Walmart and it's one they're unfamiliar with, they have to look around for what they need, which makes them more likely to buy stuff. That is inherently anti-consumer. Like, it goes directly against the wishes and the design philosophy of Sam Walton. The fact that I know so much about Walmart and Sam Walton speaks to a certain level of autism that I have, but we'll focus on that later.
However many years ago.
Point is, that's why I hate Walmart. It's not about people being poor.
Is still somewhere out there. That's crazy. The John Cena action figure that, you know, every single time you went to the store, there was a new batch of 50 of them on the rack.
Fuck off, Zax. He's an anarchist with a shopping bag.
Those are all somewhere, and it's been like 15 years since you saw them. So yeah, plastic is forever. It's everywhere. It's in our bloodstreams, and online shopping is causing 4.8 times more packaging waste than ever before. This Mario is going to live forever. This Mario is going to live forever. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, this is a Taco Bell toy from before I was born, and it's in better condition than I am. Okay, damn, shopping malls. Not only is online shopping unhealthy for the world, but it's unhealthy for us. Malls force you to walk a lot. You want a cute thought from Brandy Melville? Well, it's...
Dude, he's so correct. That's another great thing about the mall. And I mean this, I love walking around the mall, because like, here's my ritual, right? Here's my ritual. I go to the mall, and I either start or end with the food court. If I start with the food court, that means I'm walking around the mall for several hours. I'm working everything off that I just ate in an unhealthy and disgusting, like, diabolical fashion. If I end with the food court, it's because I've expended so much energy while doing my shopping and moving around that I need to refuel. Yes, not only that, dude, and this is whether I go to the mall or I go anywhere, I always park way at the back. I always park far away from the entrance to the store or to the general location selling goods and services, because that long walk to the parking lot is that many more calories burned.
Only a half-mile walk from the car. Oh, now you want a Wetzel's pretzel? Good thing it's only, you know, on the other side of this mile-long mall.
That's some weak sauce. That's some weak sauce, Will. Establish dominance. Establish dominance. Tell your wife you'll put the kids in the stroller, or better yet, you'll carry them. You'll carry the babies, one in each hand, while you pump them like little fucking fleshy dumbbells so you can get a great workout in on the way to the on the walk up to the establishment.
Oh, now you want me to pay attention to you when you talk and stop practicing my pop punk jumps over your dog? Well, that feels kind of racist. If only you could see how much air I was truly getting, you'd be really impressed. You know how important it is to walk? Those few jumps fucking winded me. Google every single disease ever with the words "how to prevent" following the disease name. I guarantee you walking will show up in every single list. According to everyone ever, you need 10,000 steps a day to be like pretty healthy. If you
How to prevent being a whiny soy bitch made libtard. Physical activity. Proven. Science.
you go to the mall and need to pee,
Holy shit, Zax, he does look like IJP.
that's an instant 10,000 steps. The bathroom is always somehow on the opposite side of the mall when you need it. Shopping at the mall also forces you into social interactions and like actually integrating with your community. I know that sucks so bad, but let's go back to that little exercise we did a second ago. Google how to prevent every single disease, and you know what else is going to show up on those lists? Social interaction. I think people my age really underestimate how important social interactions are. They hate when random people strike up a conversation with them in public and they'll make
I don't hate that. I love that. Dude, I love it when people randomly talk to me in public, as long as they're not fucking gross and fat and stuff. Like, if you're a homeless person, don't try and talk to me because, like, you don't deserve to be alive. But if you're just a regular person and you've got, like, a polo on and maybe, like, a watch or a chain, yeah, talk to me. Let's chill for a moment. I can spare 2.5 minutes to tell you that, you know, like, to accept your compliment of how good my shoes look, and why I tell you, man, I like your pocket protector, or fucking whatever. Yes, social interaction is good for the soul.
a point to avoid small talk because it's so fake. I fuck with small talk. A few weeks ago, I was at the grocery store and this guy spent 10 minutes telling me about a road trip he took like 20 years ago where he went up the Rocky Mountains or some mountain range. He went up on one side and he told me about all the cool stuff he saw on the way up. And on the way down, he went through the other side and there was all sorts of other cool shit to see. And he was like, you should do this. It'll change your life. And I'm like, you know, let's go back to the money thing, bro. Where the fuck am I gonna get the money for that? Sorry, sir. So I'm sorry. The point is, it was a very fun and interesting conversation that was started all just because he overheard me make a comment about cheese to the person I was with. Okay, the third thing I put under health was architecture, and I didn't bother writing anything about it, but I think I know where I was going with.
Yes, small talk is how normal people make friends. Exactly. Paul Byersmith, the IRL bestie, the guy that, you know, he's in my chat all the time. Sometimes he shows up on Neon Leon and whatnot. My real life best friend. Small talk's how we became friends. Now, granted, it was in a different sort of social setting. It was, you know, we ended up getting a job. We worked together. But, man, we worked that job for like 6 months. Bitch, that was 10 years ago. We're still friends to this fucking day.
There's a reason why humans build such incredible things. Architecture is more important to our health than we realize. It makes us feel safe, inspired, or completely depressed. So good architecture is pretty important, and most malls have pretty awesome architecture. So why does it all matter? What am I going on about? Why am I still here? First of all, shopping malls can help you shop local. You might be all like, what are you talking about, bro? It's just Nordstrom and Macy's and JCPenney and...
No, that ain't true. A lot of malls have, like, mom and pop shops in the mall. Like, there's my mall used to have this anime store, right? Called I think it was called Alpha Otaku, and like it wasn't a chain or anything. It's just a dude decided to start his anime store, and he put it in the mall, and it was awesome. And then after 6 months, it went out of business, not because it wasn't getting business. It was getting a lot of business. It was getting a lot of my business. But because he decided to inappropriately do things with his underage female employees. So. Yeah, he shut the place down, moved to Texas. I think he probably, like, reopened the business in Texas or something. Not sure. But the point is, there's this fucking hot dog place, this hot dog food truck. Best fucking food truck in my city. I love it, right? It's called Doggy Style, which, you know, is kind of fucking base. They also open up their second location in the mall. So we at the mall, and you be having a fucking hot dog with flaming hot Cheetos and pepper jack cheese on it. Fucking visionary. Mom and pop hot dog shop called Doggy Style. Bro, people be walking with their kids, the little 4 and 5-year-old chitlins, through the mall and right across from Zoomies. Doggy Style. Awesome, bro. Awesome.
I'm blanking on any more big anchor stores. Sometimes they have 2 Macy's because they have one for women and the other one is for men. and tools and furniture, toys, and literally everything else. But the point is, what are you going to buy from those stores? You can find lots of cool little stores and smaller chains once you actually enter the mall. I know you can find small shops through Etsy and other websites like that, and that's truly incredible. I don't think we should get rid of that. But some malls have an Etsy store for local art.
I do. I do. We need to get rid of Etsy. We need to get rid of Etsy because all these dumb fucking women that make these little homemade butterfly necklaces out of like sticks and rocks they found in their backyard think that that's an actual fucking career, and they use the fucking $14.50 you send them for this $2 necklace on green hair dye, and then they vote for Kamala Harris. Yeah, fuck Etsy.
So I win that one. The shopping experience has become so disconnected in every way. Overall, we are really disconnected from our belongings. I know that sounds like a crazy, weird-ass statement, but let me explain. I don't mean that in a way like I'll kill you if you touch my Rainforest Cafe glass, but in a way that's like I have a real memory and a full day around this cup, and I just spilled all over myself. I had to drive over an hour for this dumbass thing. I don't think everything you buy should have a crazy story and like trek you had to go through to earn it, but on the way there I had a really important and somewhat tough conversation with someone close to me, and by the time we made it there, we kind of reached a resolution, and then we got to eat Rainforest Cafe, so that was awesome. It's something I always think about when I have this glass, and I used it a lot last year when I was playing the shit out of Team Fortress 2. I'd have a nice glass of chocolate milk in this. Now it's just kind of my water cup during recording. So lots of cool stuff with this. And obviously,
I wonder how vodka would taste mixed with chocolate milk. Questions for later.
I can't tell you like a whole awesome backstory to everything I own, but these memories are important to me, and I know you have things like that too. Basically, shopping at the mall is also better because you're physically browsing through stuff. It's not an endless scroll. If you don't find anything you like, that sucks, but also, hey, you saved 50 bucks. It isn't inevitable that you're gonna scroll until you find something that you just have to buy. You're also physically aware of how much you're buying. I know malls use all sorts of tricks to get you to shop more and spend more, but it's easier to see.
Dude, he's not even gonna bring it up because the video's almost done, but this is another bonus of malls. Like, let me know in the chat what do you think I'm about to say. What do you think I'm about to say the bonus of malls is? It's featured right here in this image. It's featured right here in this image. It's another bonus to malls. See if you can figure it out. I'll wait. I'll give y'all a few seconds. Nah, man, my whelp was directed at Leona. Was commenting about the dude being fresh with minors. Oh, yeah. No, that was crazy. Anyway, there's something featured right now in this, no, not young girls. Although, young girls are awesome as long as they're 18 plus. Because, like, let's say a 21-year-old girl to me is a young girl, and 21-year-old girls can be hot as fuck. Common area for socializing. No. I mean, yes, that's cool and all. We've already established that. This is something that hasn't been established yet. Something in this, I'll give you guys a couple more guesses, then I'll explain. Now, I'll give you guys a couple more guesses, then I'll toxins, stage area. No. Bingo! Tiger King got it! Escalators! Dude, escalators are fucking awesome! Alright, dude, escalators are stairs that move, bro. That is the apex of human ingenuity. Bro, we went from having stairs for hundreds, if not thousands of years, till one day we realized, bro, we can make them move. We can make the stairs move. That is human ingenuity to the level of, yes, exactly. It's fucking insane. And as our boy Mitch Hedberg pointed out, like 20 years ago, escalators can never break. They can only become stairs. How amazing is that? They built self-moving stairs that, if they break, they're still perfectly functional because they're just stairs. You don't have escalators when you're shopping on Amazon, motherfuckers.
See how much unnecessary shit you're buying when it's filling up your cart or giving you like the most jacked arm because of how much shit you're carrying in a bag. That brings us to our final point. I know malls aren't the best thing ever. Let's look at why they suck. First of all, they don't carry the most basic shit. I'm not a huge shopper, so going to the mall is more of like an experience for me, or I'm usually there to eat something. When I do want something, Oh my God. When I was starting this job I had a while ago, I needed a new pair of khakis, you know, like the staple.
That's gay. That's gay. If a job told me I had to wear khakis, I would quit that job. I've never worked a job. Now, like slacks are fine. Job tells me you gotta wear slacks, I'm okay with that. Slacks are classy. Khakis are fucking gross, dude.
Of American casual.
And for the record, so are corduroy pants. Corduroy jackets are cool. Who the fuck wears corduroy pants? Like, why y'all want ridges on your pants?
Business dress. I somehow could not find my size in khakis at any of these stores. They didn't have like the most basic Dockers or anything normally priced. And I'm not built super weird.
Someone in chat said he's a Dockers bro. And yes, as it turns out, he is a Dockers bro. Well called.
Weird. Like, I'm not asking for the weirdest size in the world. I'm pretty normal sized, I like to think. How do they not have my size anywhere? It also pisses me off that there are no Dickies or Hanes beefy tees, because those are the majority of what I wear every single day. I hate buying those online because they're such like cheap, normal things I don't want shipped to my house. I just want to go and pick them up in one day. Second of all, fast fashion. There's a lot in the malls. This is such a big topic that's so multifaceted. I don't even know what to say other than, come on, guys. Don't do this to people. I will argue to say other than, come on, guys. Don't do.
Modern slavery is on the rise. Fashion's role remains steady. I don't know how to tell you all this, but slavery's fucking awesome, and we need to keep it up.
This to people. I will argue this though. Shopping malls need thrift stores. I have been seeing secondhand stores, awesome alliteration, like Buffalo Exchange at malls, so we are moving to a better future. Together, we can make a difference. Third of all, another thing where I just wrote the title of the subject because I knew I'd be able to just rant about it. Teenagers. I was a teenager not that long ago. I know what it's like. I had nothing else to do either. But dude, I swear you guys are built different this day and age. Yeah, I'm not gonna say everything we were doing was super harmless when we were f***ing around at the mall, but like, you guys are committing like scary crimes. And also everyone looks like Rob Deerdeck. I don't like it. The big ass shoes are scary. I gotta walk out of the way. Oh my God, let's wrap this up. Malls rule. They're like little walkable cities that we don't have here in the United States, so they're fun for me. I have lots of memories at the mall from high school and
whoa, hold on.
Here in the United States, so they're fun for me. I have lots of memories at the mall from high school.
How does he look older when he was in high school than he does now? What are we doing? How does this dude look like he could fucking buy 21-year-olds liquor because he's 42 when he is like 18? This doesn't make any sense. It's not just the mustache, Dax. It's not just the mustache. Dude looks like Anthony Kiedis if Anthony Kiedis wasn't a homosexual. Okay, well, no, I mean, they both still look pretty homosexual. But the point is, this breaks my brain. Oh, I don't like that implication, Tiger King.
And post high school and like last week, I'm gonna be real with you. I was like super into the future of technology and everything going digital and all that stuff, but bring back physical shit. Let me try on the clothes to make sure my nips aren't just glaring at you and you'll never make eye contact because I'm wearing the thinnest shirt ever because I didn't get to try it on
non-strung out
before I
Kiedis.
bought
There
it
you go,
online.
fat roller.
Big sentence there, big sentence. Like I said before, I'm not a huge shopper, but god damn it do I love food. The mall's got so much food. Let's do some quick highlights. The pretzel bites from Wetzel's Pretzels, those are goated, especially if you dip them in the cheese. The cheesecake crumble candy apple, I
don't know what that is, but I don't want it. That cheesecake crumble caramel apple or candied apple, no, that's death. That is death incarnate. Never, if you see somebody attempting to sell you this, run the other way. Bad. Not okay.
need someone to like read over these scripts to make sure there isn't too much alliteration that I keep stuttering over. I don't know what store these are from. They're just really good. If we're feeling fancy, we're getting some Cheesecake Factory. It's always fun to walk around these giant open spaces that have something for everyone, especially if you have like an outdoor mall near you and the weather isn't miserable. Speaking of not shopping, I'll always pop into GameStop and wait for them to talk to me, and then I strike. I'm not stuck in a conversation with you. You're stuck in a conversation with me. No one else wants to talk about video games with me, so now you get to listen to me talk about them. Oh, cool, the new Mario Party just dropped. I'm not even gonna buy it. but you're gonna have to listen to me analyze the state of the whole series.
He's kind of growing on me, guys. I won't lie. From that one little paragraph alone, this dude is kind of growing on me.
Go to a mall, talk to some of the funny fuckers that are there, walk around, get a pretzel, enjoy yourself. Demolish that subscribe button like it's just been dipped in jalapeno cheese. We got new videos every week. Guys, thank you for 2,000 subscribers. What the frickin' hen? Thank you for watching, as always.
Oh shit, is this a smaller channel? Oh, this video's from a year ago. I was about to say, 100,000 subscribers now. Either way, that was a good video. I love malls. There's the video. Give it a like and whatnot since we stole his content. But yeah, no, that was. I agree with him completely.
Released
I
in
agree with him completely. Malls need to make a comeback. Malls are awesome. I get it. There's those of you out there that are like, oh no, social interaction is like the devil. I don't care. You need to interact socially. You need to interact socially. That's part of what makes you a fucking adult. I get it. Being alone is awesome. Being alone is cool. We've all been there. But adults talk with other adults. Adults need physical exercise. The mall gives you that. Again, escalators. The mall is fucking awesome. So yeah, anyway, that's that video. We've got another video to do. Before that, I could swear there was something. Oh, right. So, it's getting really warm in my room. I'm going to turn my AC on. I'll be back in just a moment. Y'all get a chair stream. And then we're going to, and then I'm going to do an announcement. And we'll do another video. Alrighty, we're back. Smash JT chair streams are better. Turbrate Blue Yeti stream. No, I had to turn on my AC. It was getting real goddamn warm in this room. See, you don't have to enjoy it, Fab. You just gotta do it. As long as you do it, that's important. Also, I wasn't calling out you specifically. It was more just a general thing. But, alrighty. Before we do our next reaction, I want to let you guys know, because there's 50 of you watching right now. Gaming channel. We haven't done much with it because, well, frankly, I've just been super busy. But I did do an impromptu gaming stream for Sonic Crossworlds Racing like a week ago. Tonight, after Late Night with Gooch, me and Cinevere are going to be live on my gaming channel playing Gauntlet. So if you guys looking for something to do, like, around midnight Central Time, join us on that. Me and Cindy be playing Gauntlet. For those of you that don't know, I have a second channel. It's not very old. I just started recently, but I haven't done much with it. Called Glitch in Paradise. There we go. Yep, there we go. Daxnar just gave the link to the gaming channel. So if y'all are looking for some gaming content tonight, Cinevere has, to my knowledge, never played Gauntlet. I fucking love Gauntlet. So yeah, me and Cindy gonna be doing that tonight for a couple hours or so. So yeah, subscribe to the gaming channel, and I will see you guys tonight. Yes, Gooch has a channel, Diabolical Souls. RV and Bear. Me, Hypno, Smash, and Sheep City and all played RV last night. Which Gauntlet? The 2017 or whatever reboot, the one just titled Gauntlet. I believe it's from 2017. I don't remember what year it's from, but the recent reboot. WF now. I'm not sure what that means. Not sure what that means. Anyway, I was waiting for an explanation in the chat. Alrighty. Elf needs food. Dude, the elf is my character. And that's the one rule I told Cinny. Or I haven't told her, I'm going to tell her. I play the elf. I play the elf. No one else. I play the elf. Oh, shit! There's a new episode of White Files? Wait, is there really? Is there a... Hold on. I gotta check. I don't know if you're just saying you're going to watch it. Is there a new episode of Y-Files? Did it just drop? Oh, he's streaming. Oh, he's doing an after-file stream. So he dropped an episode. Is that what it is? The Devil's Bible and the Nazi Hole to Hell. And then after-file stream. Nazi Hole. Fuck. Oh, well. I'm working. So I can't goddamn do anything about it. All right. Well, Bobby, if you're getting out of here, I completely understand. Yeah. Nope. AJ comes first. I get it. I can't even be mad. You're leaving my show to go watch my favorite YouTuber of all time. So, yes. I get it. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Y-Files is my all-time favorite YouTube channel. The Tinfoil Haters show was directly inspired by Y-Files. Like that whole show that me and Sammy and them do, is inspired by Y-Files. So, anyway, back to what we were doing. So yeah, Gauntlet stream tonight. Alrighty. The porn star who was sued by Nintendo. I've never heard this story. I've never heard this story in my life. Videos from 3 weeks ago. What the fuck is this? Also, how did you, like, put porn in the title for your video and it get 200,000 views? Alright, let's do it.
Celebrate my first big break on YouTube, which was a video called The Lavender Town Theory. Since 2011, I have always come up with an upload in celebration to mark the occasion, even though I haven't been a gaming channel for a decade at this point. But I somehow always find a way to make the theme work. With my recent pivot of covering the dysfunctional lives of adult entertainers,
Alright, 23 seconds in, we've already seen half of the Pornhub logo. Let's go.
Made me wonder if Nintendo has ever tried to go after any women in this field, with the answer to the question being a resounding yes. With that, I want to tell the troubling tale of an OnlyFans model previously known as Pokey Princess.
Well, I can already see where this is going. Although, I gotta say, it's a pretty nice looking Vulpix tattoo. Shading on it's good. Yeah, I like that.
Including her chaotic childhood, rise to e-girl fame, legal dealings with Nintendo over her name, and downfall due to accusations of child endangerment.
Wait, what? We're going from OnlyFans whore is getting sued by Nintendo to accusations of child endangerment. Bro, we in for a ride. Let's go, son.
But we'll first have to begin this story in the late 90s, when Pokemania was in full swing and the adult actress was born. Marissa Cloutier was born January 17th, 1997, and grew up near Colorado Springs, Colorado. While not much is known about her childhood, she's accused her brother of being a, quote, abusive predator.
I was gonna say, no, we don't know anything about her childhood. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. She's on OnlyFans, which means either she doesn't have a dad, or she does have a dad and he touched her. That's really all we need to know.
As she put it, my mom is coming over today so she can actually listen to all the abuse my brother put me through, and I'm hoping she can finally open her eyes. If my brother dies, I'm throwing a party with his gravestone as the cake. Beyond this, her earliest online activity dates back to 2012.
What is it with women in Tumblr? I've never actually been on Tumblr in my entire life. Like, was it exclusively for women? I've never heard of a straight dude that uses Tumblr.
When she created the Tumblr blog Oceanic Trip. She started posting here at the age of 15. Like many from her generation,
oh bro, she was getting groomed. She was getting, well, again, I don't know if she was getting groomed or not, because I've never heard of straight dudes on Tumblr.
She identified with the predominant scene culture of the time. This led her to post selfies online, later calling herself one of the original e-girls. The young woman quickly grew a following, with many of her photos garnering over 100,000 reblogs. Sadly, this only seemed to lead to bullying in her real life. People in Colorado were so fucking mean to me about how I looked.
I mean, you don't look like a
Real
hippie
life.
stoner.
People in
Yeah, where at in Colorado? Like, I've been to Colorado. I love Colorado. Colorado's gorgeous. The people suck and the politics suck, but, like, Colorado's gorgeous. I'll be real. I'm choosing Colorado over this broad so far.
In Colorado were so fucking...
Yo, Valiant Goat says she's no Boxy. Shout out, based Boxy reference. What is this, 2008? Like, you love to see it.
mean to me about how I looked. Shortly after, she began exploring the local music scene, an experience that would end up being quite traumatizing. You see, Marissa recounted being preyed on by 6 artists whilst underage, detailing 4 separate instances in which she was sexually assaulted. Because many were also cheating on their partners, the teen would end...
Alright, look, this is gonna come off as victim blaming, and I don't care. If you were assaulted that many times, one of 2 things is true. Either A, you weren't, and you're making up at least half those accusations. Or B, at that point, it's your own fucking fault. At that point, it's your own fucking fault. What are you doing? Like, after the fucking 3rd time, did you learn nothing? Like, if I decide to walk into downtown Chicago and there's a fucking gang war going down and I get shot in the crossfire but I miraculously survive, I've decided after that incident, I'm no longer going to downtown Chicago. If I do go to downtown Chicago again and I happen to get shot once again, I'm sorry, that's not the fault of the Crips or the Bloods. That one's on me.
End up being the scapegoat and ostracized by the community. I went to the police to report it.
Agreed,
and came
fam.
out to Corey Sementol, where he then told everybody about my assault, which resulted in me being humiliated by the whole music scene and everybody calling me a liar, which is why I never went through with the charges.
What do you mean, the whole music scene? You were underage. You shouldn't have been at the music scene. Guys, as y'all know, because I talk about it frequently because I'm a fucking loser, I used to work in the music industry. There shouldn't be fucking minors in the music industry. Ironically enough, there's a lot of fucking minors in the music industry. Like, that's blood on the dance floor, anybody? But that's neither here nor there. The point is, minors shouldn't be there. These shows are like 21 plus bars and stuff. Children, like, you want to learn to play an instrument and whatnot? Yeah, by all means. It's a very important skill to teach children. Music is very, very powerful and great for the development of the developing brain. But you shouldn't have your children actually in the environment of the music scene.
Anytime I tried to come out about it, the music scene shunned me because nobody ever liked me. Just because y'all hate me doesn't take away from the fact that your friends sexually abused me.
Dude, the way this broad speaks, I know that everybody hates Nintendo because they sue, like, for the most benign of reasons. Like, oh, this YouTuber with 43 subscribers is streaming a ROM hack of The Legend of Zelda. Time to sue. Like, I get it. I get being upset spaghetti with Nintendo over that. But look at how this broad talks. I'm gonna be real. Maybe we should give a little tip of the hat and a thanks, Nintendo.
It didn't help that she had a negative reputation for things like lying about her age, which, to be clear,
I'm not saying you deserved it, but if you're lying about your age to get into these adult-only areas, once again, you're not exactly innocent. You put yourself in a position that you shouldn't have been in, that could have been very easily avoided.
Here doesn't mean she wasn't telling the truth about her abuse. When Marissa came out with her story in 2020, a multitude of victims stepped forward to corroborate her account, with some being as young as 13 at the time of their own experience. Because the musicians named were local and from the MySpace era, a site with bad archives, there isn't a ton of info about them that I could find online. But I was able to uncover that at least one band, Fortune's Fool, disbanded as a result of these accusations. At 17, the self-proclaimed e-girl would find some stability in her friend Xavier, attending their first Warped Tour festival that summer. A year later,
alright, she's 17, she's born in 96, so that would have put it at, what, 2014, 2013, give or take Warped Tour? That's probably a fine year for Warped Tour. Yeah, that was probably a fine year for Warped Tour.
She began posting nudes on Tumblr and fully
She's 17, she's posting nudes on Tumblr. Guys, I've already made my decision. Nintendo was right. Nintendo earned this lawsuit.
branded her account to Pokey Princess.
And yes, I'm very aware,
As
Thompson.
you can probably guess, this stemmed from a lifelong love of Pokemon, having stockpiled a massive collection of memorabilia from a young age. Her first tattoo also paid tribute to the Game Freak IP, getting an illustration of the character Nurse Joy. So Pokey Princess stuck, and she registered accounts under the alias on Instagram and YouTube. The former was her new main platform, sharing her cosplays and talking openly about her struggles, most notably eating disorders.
Yep, because that's what everybody wants to hear. You're a Pokemon fan? Let's listen to some dumb e-thought talk about her struggles. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about your struggles. I thought you were going to tell me where to find the metal coat in Fire Red.
However, the young woman's life would take a drastic turn when, at just 19, she became pregnant. The father was...
Alrighty. How much y'all want to bet she's not keeping it? He says she became pregnant, not she had a kid. This is about to become a pokey abortion.
A man named Shane, of whom she was in a committed relationship. It's unclear how long they were dating beforehand, though Marissa has seemingly called him a predator, along with another musician they were friends with. My ex-husband would always brag about how good of friends he was with the Johnny Craig. And like, yeah, no wonder why. You both were openly sexually attracted to 17-year-olds and sociopaths.
Again, that's very wrong and gross and disgusting if true. Like, obviously there's no defense for that. However, bitch, you posting your fucking nudes on Tumblr when you're 17. Pot kinda calling the kettle black here.
While neither felt ready to be parents, they were serious about each other and decided to keep the baby. They got married and
holy shit, we were wrong. They kept the baby, holy shit.
Welcomed their son Onyx into the world on August...
Named their son Onyx. That would almost be cool if it weren't for the fact that this is such a fucking dumb broad. War Wizard for 199 says, but where do you find the metal coat in Fire Red? I believe, I could be misremembering, but I believe you find the metal coat on Island 3 of the Sevi Islands in Team Rocket Base. I think that's where you find it. Hold on. Now we gotta check. Now we gotta check because I don't remember, but I think I'm right. Hold on. Where do you find the metal coat in Fire Red? You can find the metal coat on Fire Red by locating it on a 5-island memorial pillar by completing the knockout challenge at Trainer Tower. Okay. Alright, I was close. I knew it was on the Sevi Islands. I knew it was in like a tower, you know, a base type thing, but it's Trainer Tower. And it's knockout challenge, not Team Rocket. Okay, you know what? I was close. I was close, and considering I haven't played Fire Red in like 20 years, that's pretty fucking good.
16th, 2017. Yes, he was named after the Pokemon of the same name. What's next? If they had a daughter, would they name her Celebi?
Obviously, if I had a girl, I wanted to name her Celebi.
So remember how I was talking earlier at the beginning of the stream about how millennials are better than Gen Z? Maya spoke too soon.
Fortunately, their relationship deteriorated before Onyx was even born. According to her, Shane cheated on her multiple times during and after the pregnancy. He also allegedly pressured her into making a couple's Tinder account so they could find girls to have threesomes with. Unfortunately, the lifestyle didn't work out, as less than a year after their son was born, they filed for divorce, leading to a bitter custody.
Oh, she was 97, not 96? Never mind, she's Gen Z. Never mind. Yeah. I am valid in my initial assessment from the beginning of the stream that millennials are better than Gen Z. If she's 97, she's Gen Z. Thanks for the catch, Zalozzi.
Battle that went into the summer of 2018. Marissa later called her ex-husband manipulative, claiming he would scream at their son to the point Onyx suffered from night terrors. He allegedly also refused to celebrate holidays because he was an atheist. Now a single mother, Marissa scraped by working minimum wage jobs while living with her parents. If things weren't
who I'm sure were just so proud of her.
Complicated enough, at 9 months old, a doctor told the teen mom Onyx may be autistic and that she needed to do a better job.
Can you imagine this fucking doctor looking at this tattoo-covered hoe and be like, your son's retarded, you need to do better. Like, holy fuck.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
That's fucking based, doctor, bro.
And allegedly stepped away from his son's life, leading to a 3 to 4 month period where he was completely absent.
Onyx's dad left him for a 3 or 4 month period, and during that time I was only working like a normal minimum wage job.
Soon enough, Onyx completely stopped talking or showing any emotions, but over time he opened back up, no longer in a household of constant fighting. Shane continued seeing other people, and in May of 2019 signed over all parental rights before leaving for Denver and never returning.
All right, hold on. Let's talk about the order of operations here real quick, because I remember this video is about how Nintendo sued a porn star. So far, we've got this girl's born in 97. She grows up being a big Pokemon fan. She claims to be sexually assaulted multiple times at the age of 16 or under by multiple people in bands in the music scene that she should not have been in. She then gets, starts posting nudes to Tumblr at 17, gets knocked up at 19 with a potentially abusive asshole, husband, all while working minimum wage jobs. Her life is already in shambles. At what point did, she still hasn't been sued by Nintendo yet. This is the lead up to being sued by one of the most influential gaming companies in the world. Bro, this is fucking diabolical.
Marissa recalled that the last thing he said to her was, "Have fun being a single mom forever, cunt." Little did he know, the one place of refuge that had been there her entire life would end up becoming a profitable venture. What needs to be understood is that throughout these tumultuous times, Marissa had once again grown a sizable following online. She enjoyed watching streamers on Twitch, and one day realized she could probably do it herself.
All roads lead back to what a cesspool Twitch is. Dude, this broad is an e-thought whore, right? OnlyFan whore. She has a sizable following on Twitch. She enjoys watching streamers. What's the over-under that she is/was a Hassan Piker fan?
Her first broadcast was in 2018, originally focused on, of course, Pokemon games. At this stage, her main platform was still Instagram, getting a following for her promiscuous nerd-themed photos. The young mom often got DMs asking if she sold pictures, which led her to discover the adult content platform OnlyFans. This was early 2019, right around when OF saw its first major explosion in growth.
Dude, take a look. Is this not if Shoonhead wasn't based? Imagine an alternate universe where Shoonhead didn't get married and have a child, and instead of advocating for, conversation on the other side and calling out the things that are wrong with the left, even while supporting left-leaning, financial stances and whatnot. This is the version of Shoonhead from Earth X that went all in on communism and doing OnlyFans and getting railed by strangers. Oh, this is delicious.
Marissa joined around March while still working as a sushi chef at a restaurant called Tokyo Joe's.
I just used to work like food, like server jobs. I used to be a manager at a place called Taste Affiliate for like 5 years. Ended up leaving there, and then I worked at a place called Tokyo Joe's where I basically just worked on sushi and stuff like that.
Immediately.
Bro, look at her in the eyes when she's talking. Does she not look like she got a touch of the downs? Like, she looks a little downsy.
The decision alienated the aspiring streamer from some of her male coworkers who had girlfriends. I was showing my coworker photos of Onyx and accidentally swiped to a naked photo of me.
Accidentally.
But Marissa never felt ashamed, openly posting about her new gig on Facebook. I would just like to say I'm not sorry for constantly advertising all my sex work content. If my family on Facebook can ignore all my posts, so can you.
You know, I'm not going to say that what the father did by abandoning the family and everything was correct. Assuming, like, let's give the benefit of the doubt that he was an abusive, manipulative asshole like she claims. And that's already given a pretty big benefit of the doubt. I get it. I mean, looking at these tweets and shit, I do get it. This broad seems insufferable.
This was in part due to an ex screenshotting her content and threatening to send it to her dad. So to diffuse things, Marissa told them herself. Her parents ended up being extremely supportive of her decision.
Of course they did! Why wouldn't they be? You know, if you're watching this and you're a parent, beat your children.
After all, she had finally found a way to support herself and her son, showing up to a family.
Dad, I finally found a way to support me and Onyx. Oh, you got a real job instead of working at the sushi place? Yeah, I show people my pussy for the price of a McChicken. Way to go, honey. I'm so proud of you. You're just like your mother. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Function like, hey y'all, I just got raw dogged and paid my rent. What about you, brother? By August, she made enough to cover 3 months of expenses. 2 months later, she reached the top 1% of OnlyFans. A friend even wrote an article about her for a school paper, dubbing her the Colorado e-girl. That Christmas, Marissa was able to buy her mom a Gucci purse and her dad a new flat-screen TV. For her...
Yep, I get why the parents be supportive. Fucking gold-digging whores, a lot of them.
She got a whole new set of teeth, as well as a quote-unquote new pussy. Her success grew...
What? All because of sex work and all my amazing customers / fans contributing so much of my content. This Christmas, I got my mom a Gucci purse, my dad a new flat screen TV, my best friend a Nintendo Switch, and I'm getting a whole new set of teeth. Okay, wait, where did you get the new pussy thing? Unless that was just a different tweet that he thankfully didn't show.
New set of teeth, as well...
Oh! After paying for a new pussy, I don't even know if I want to have sex after it's healed. What? Like, I do get this out for free to people on Tinder. Who do I use it on first?
Women. Was a quote-unquote new pussy. Her success grew even more exponentially as OnlyFans boomed amidst the 2020 pandemic. With not much else to do during lockdown, she streamed regularly on Twitch, veering from Pokemon titles to multiplayer shooters like Overwatch, as well.
This is literally the target demographic for Overwatch. People like this are the reason Overwatch 2 is only sexual orientation, gender-based characters, didn't have any of the actual content that Blizzard promised. Like you can blame Poke Princess, amongst others, but Poke Princess for the reason that Overwatch 2 is the disgusting mess that it is. Not that Overwatch 1 was exactly good, but...
As well as horror games which landed her viral clips. By September, she had amassed 50,000 followers on the streaming platform, making hundreds if not thousands of dollars per day. Viewers loved her bubbly personality and interactions with chats, even inviting her most loyal moderators to play with her on stream.
Chat, is there any of my mods who have played Outlast 2 that want to help me in my next streams, please? I'll pay you or something. I just want someone to help me during it.
How do you need help playing Outlast? You run and hide. That's it. That's the whole game. You run, you hide. The fuck you need help for?
Like when you guys are by my side during it.
But her most popular platform by far was TikTok. At first, she didn't get it, finding it stupid and weird. But after learning how popular...
That is the smartest thing that's been said this whole time, is that TikTok is stupid and weird. And even that she couldn't stick to.
Her cosplays were on the site, she made an account, quickly amassing 1.9 million followers. These avenues further promoted her OnlyFans, and by the end of that year, she had made enough money to move her entire family to Florida. I try not to talk about my ex, but I just want to say I hope he sees my face all over the internet and gets upset since he told me I would be nothing. How's life treating you, Shane?
So far, it seems like he was correct. You're a e-whore on the internet selling pictures of your pussy for the price of a McChicken. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think he was correct. You are nothing. And yet, Nintendo still found you worthy enough to sue.
The thing is, such fame came with increased scrutiny, the first of which was from none other than Nintendo itself. It all started in May of 2020.
We are 10 minutes in, and we're just now getting the Nintendo stuff. That is how tumultuous and deliciously awful this broad's life has been up to this point.
When Marissa filed a trademark for her username PokePrincess. Given the Japanese company's aggressive track record of litigation, it was only a matter of time before they took notice. That August, she was contacted by Nintendo, who issued a cease and desist. It firstly demanded she abandon the trademark, but then further stated she infringed their copyright by selling t-shirts and merch featuring their characters. Because of this...
Look, the name thing is kind of bullshit, I won't lie. Like, as much as I'm loathing this individual's general demeanor, personality, if you can call it a personality, look, I don't think Nintendo has a case for the name. The characters, on the other hand, are you selling t-shirts with like actual licensed Pokemon on them? You fucked up.
Marissa was forced to not only change her name, but pay back some of her earnings. After 2 months, she was finally able to speak about the situation publicly on October 6, 2020.
So for the past 2 months, I've been going through something, and basically it's keep my username and get sued by the biggest company in the world, or change my username and hopefully be able to rebrand efficiently.
In addition to this TikTok, she also made a YouTube video elaborating on the experience. It was a difficult decision to make. After all, this was her entire online identity. It was unclear what would happen to her momentum as a result of this forced rebrand. But ultimately, the ordeal proved to be a blessing in disguise. As it turns out, her story was picked up by numerous gaming outlets.
I've covered so many of Luke Plunkett's dumbass videos on the channel. Like, this writer for Kotaku, I think he's like one of the only male writers there, assuming he's actually male. Oh my goodness.
Resulting in a huge influx of viewers, as well as subscribers on her OnlyFans. It was even covered by Vice, likely for the irresistible headline of Nintendo lawyers coming for a sex worker's name. While upset over losing the moniker she had used for the past 8 years, Marissa was flattered to be personally noticed by the company that had been a comfort her entire life. I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to play the victim in the situation, and
bullshit! I'm not trying to play the victim. Bitch, we just went through the entire timeline of your teenage into adult life in the lead up to this moment, and thus far, all you've done is play the victim. Anytime I hear a broad say, I'm not trying to play the victim, I instantly know that is exactly what they're doing. That is female code speak for sounds like something a synth would say.
Only hope to be somebody people can learn from and not make the same mistakes I did. I still love Nintendo and will forever support them. It's kind of a cool thing to say, that the ones who made my childhood so cool, they finally noticed me.
It's a cool thing to say. I'm being sued by a multi-billion-dollar conglomeration. Isn't that sick, bro? Like...
All it took was for me to infringe on everything about them. On October 9th, she did her last stream as Spooky Princess, before rebranding to Digital Princess. It didn't seem to have as much of an impact as she feared, likely because her new alias ended up being so similar. It should also be noted that a majority of the internet was supportive of the sex worker at this point.
And this was in 2020. Aren't we glad how things have changed in 5 years? Like, just think about it. It's only been 5 years, and we are already seeing a mass rejection of the sort of shit this broad stood for. And they say that social media is bad for you.
Mostly due to a disdain they had with the House of Mario's litigious nature. Her TikTok grew to 2.2 million followers, and her OnlyFans reached over 330,000 likes. She also double-dipped, making a Fansly which itself garnered 5,500 followers. It was presented as an oddly wholesome story by the media given the circumstances. Sadly, this was not her only controversy, as the next time she made headlines, it would be for much more troubling reasons. As you may have guessed, Marissa has dealt with many of the criticisms sex workers who are parents face about the impact it could have on their child.
Rightfully so. Keep shaming these broads. Look, I know there's a lot of people who believe sex workers work and yada yada. And I'm a capitalist first and foremost. I am. I ain't gonna moral busybody anyone because frankly, it's not an industry that I like or an industry that I participate in. But I am a capitalist, so get that bread. But if you're gonna get that bread, bro, leave kids out of it. At that point, that is just fucking disgusting.
She often confronted this on Twitter, arguing that her new income would secure a better life for her toddler. My son won't be in the internet for like 10 more years. Y'all are fucking creepy thinking about my toddler searching for nudes. People actually think my kid is with me 24/7 when I'm doing sex work. I don't ever let anybody stay the night or come over when I have him. I don't even film content or do sexual acts when he's in my home. Thank you. Next. The reality is that these photos being easily accessible is something that will follow her son into the future. While it's certainly true, part of her motivation for doing sex...
Bro, she's already looking busted. Like, it's only been a couple of years. She'd be what? Let's see, in 2013, she was 17. This is 22. So she's 24, give or take. Like, at this point, she's 24, and she's already looking this fucking rough. Damn, son.
Work was to support her family. She also said it became, quote, therapeutical to overcome insecurities. Within months of joining OnlyFans, she admitted to getting addicted to sex to the point of it being scary at times. I get my surgery on Tuesday and can't have sex for 6 weeks after, so I'm trying to fuck as much in these 3 days. My goal...
Dude, how do you post shit like this to X? Like I posted some really ridiculous shit to X, but it's always jokes. Like you know, today, for those of you that saw it, there was this post that was like, what's the first thing you think of when you think of Canada? And I responded, I was all like, I think of Zax's masculine shoulders. I'm not a homosexual that I know of. And like, it's obviously a fucking joke that you guys in my community, you'll see that and you'll get and you'll understand and everything. She's posting this shit unironically. It just makes me so fucking uncomfortable, man. Phone collecting for a two-banger. Towards a new vagina for you, sir. Alright. I see you.
You and I are enemies now.
In Tennessee is to see how many men I can
Thank you, by the way.
in 3 days. Who the hell says that out loud? I have to say, I don't understand.
finally, this dude has like been. I couldn't really tell what side of the fence he was on with this because he's been very good about actually being unbiased in his reporting and coverage of this. He finally had his breaking moment. It's nice to see.
Understand why Pokemon didn't want to be associated with her. All joking aside, it's hard to ignore the broader picture painted by her social media. If any of this video feels invasive, remember that these are all things Marissa shared publicly and willingly.
Exactly! It's not like he fucking hacked her account and found DMs to make this video. Like, she's... And it's not just this, it's not just her. Like, I get it, she's the one we're talking about, and this shit's weird. But she's just one in a sea of e-thoughts that do shit like this.
Years she would opine about not having any real friends outside the internet. At the same time, she would brag about sleeping with all of her ex's friends, which to be clear wasn't limited to her ex-husband. Talking to guys who are friends at the same time is always fun, because y'all don't think I know, but it's real life Hunger Games and I'm gonna f one of you.
Women like this gotta be stopped. And you know how to do it. Like you know, jokes aside for a moment. Y'all know how to do it. You know how to stop women like this? It's up to dudes. Stop giving pussies so much power. Like, I don't want to sound like one of those fucking red pill channels, because I hate those. The whole red pill alpha male dude thing. Like, I think those channels are gay as fuck. But on the flip side, dude, dudes are letting this happen. Dudes are creating this shit because we're supposed to be the ones that, like, are dominant and do take control. And, dude, we've been letting women run amok and shit, posting stuff like, if the real life Hunger Games, I'm gonna fuck one of you. What the? Yeah, exactly, Devastator. Don't put pussy on a pedestal. It's that simple.
I've ruined my chances of dating ever again because I'll probably just end up wanting to f your friends. And I have no friends for you to f, so it just wouldn't work out. She also took issue when men would interpret her flirting as romantic interest. I will flirt with everybody and have issues with people taking it too deep because they think I want a romantic relationship. Nah bro, you're not special, I'm just bored. There didn't seem to be clear boundaries in her life, as in the replies for one video, she clarified the man was just a friend and they had no romantic feelings. When she started filming content for OF, Marissa struggled to find worthy participants in Colorado. Her attempts to scout men on Tinder were thwarted by the platform's rules against promoting sex work. It doesn't seem like she ever got the memo, as even after getting permanently suspended and caught evading 6 different times, she kept begging them to unban her. In the rare times she could use the app, Marissa copy-pasted all her messages in hopes of avoiding any personal interactions or friendships. This had the results you would expect. Can I be one of the guys in your videos? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Makes content. Guy ghosts me after. Do you not want to get money from it, or I have the worst luck with making content with guys here in Colorado?
I didn't even know that. I didn't know there was a thing. I guess it makes sense that the gals, like, also pay the dude for their time. I guess that's an upside, but, like, I'm broken. I'm broken, chat.
Eventually, she stopped filming with men off dating apps, as well as random hookups in general, upon realizing the importance of getting tested for STDs. The reason I bring all this up is to illustrate that money seemed far from the primary motive of this excessive promiscuity, which feels relevant if the rationale is that she did this to give her child a better future. On that note, while Marissa has stated she posted her son on social media prior to doing sex work, he became far more prominent after. She even had him on her stream.
Onyx, help.
Nah. CBS gotta step in, dude. CBS gotta step in. It's just gone too far.
How old are you gonna be? Yeah. How old are you gonna be? Are you gonna be 3? All right, Onyx, you're making me look bad. You always talk, except now.
To be clear, I made the editorial decision to blur out the child's face, as he is fully visible on the source material. Marissa has
Good on you, buddy. Excellent choice.
Also admitted to getting into fights with other people's children over how they treat him. I feel like I'm the one who needs adult supervision instead of Onyx at those indoor playgrounds because I'm so fucking mean to any kid who tries to get in Onyx's way because f them kids. I can't stand other kids, holy shit. Mimi got to witness me going off on other kids being mean to Onyx, and I'm so terrible. Grabbed a kid to tell him, if you shove my kid again, I'm going to shove you. I'm too protective, shoot me.
Alright, so not only call CPS, arrest her. Yo, she just grabbed someone else's kid? Fucking arrest her, dude. And to be fair, that might be where this video goes. I don't know. We still got 8 minutes left of this. 8.5 minutes. This can only get worse. Or, I mean, I guess it can get better, but I doubt it gets better.
That finally takes us to the summer of 2021, when Marissa was arrested and charged with child neglect.
Okay, I said arrest her for the way she was treating other kids, but her own kid as well? Child neglect?
On August 24th, a neighbor contacted police after they discovered the OnlyFans model's 4-year-old son wandering outside alone, crying at around 10:20 p.m. The police
I can forgive everything else, dude. I can forgive you being an e-whore and being a complete, victim goblin on social media. The constant promiscuity, the inability to have, proper social interactions. All of that. But how you letting your, 4 or under-year-old run around outside at nearly 11 at night alone? Dude, fuck this broad.
Police report notes, the area where Cloutier and her child reside is surrounded by bodies of water, wildlife, and vehicle traffic, as well as other potentially dangerous hazards for an unsupervised child. When authorities arrived, the influencer claimed she had left to buy laundry detergent from 7-Eleven and that she had not been gone long. Upon further question...
No, look. Here's the dealio. Obviously, we coddle kids too much in this day and age. I've said before, I'll continue to say it. Kids are way too coddled. Yes, kids need to be able to go out alone and stay home alone. And, we can't just be fucking rounding off the edges of the world for retards and for children, because the world is a pretty harsh place. And kids kind of got to know that. But not 4-year-old kids. Dude, 8, 9... Okay, leave a kid home alone for 20 minutes when they're 8 or 9 years old. By 8 or 9, they're smart enough to know doors always stay locked. Never let anybody in the house that isn't us. You give them a set of rules that are easy to fucking follow, and you drill it in, right? Because you do. But fucking 4? What are we doing, son?
Questioning, Cloutier changed aspects of her story, admitting she had gone to meet with a friend who lived 11 miles away. Marissa then told officers she made a mistake.
Meet with a friend. Meet with a friend. You mean she was getting railed by some dude? That's what she was getting railed by some dude.
Mistake, and that her anxiety made her lie.
Not everybody's perfect. Jesus Christ.
As a result, she was arrested, charged with a felony, and her mother arrived to take custody of Onyx. News of her arrest quickly circulated on social media. By that point, she had been released from jail. Marissa responded in a TikTok claiming that a lot of things being posted were out of context and...
No, look, there's nothing out of context. You're arrested for child neglect. That's a fact. Remind you guys, this is the individual that Kotaku and fucking Vice were running defense for because Nintendo was suing her. These are their heroes.
Very much untrue. It was unsurprisingly received poorly and quickly deleted. The story received coverage by outlets.
She'll delete that, but she won't delete posts about being proud of having pussy surgery in 3 days and needing to fuck as many dudes as possible before then. I got nothing, guys.
Outlets like Business Insider and several other OF models canceled their collabs. Given the circumstances, many felt it was unlikely this was an isolated incident, simply being the first time she got caught. But at the very least, they took solace in the fact that it seemed like there would be at least some form of repercussion. So you can imagine the public shock when just 2 months later, the charges were dropped. The state attorney's office of the 20th Judicial Circuit said it was not filing charges on October 4th due to insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
Dude! Child was found wandering alone outside, 4-year-old child, 4 or under, outside at almost 11 at night while she admitted she had gone at least 11 miles away. How is that not sufficient evidence?
It's not exactly clear why the charges were dismissed, given there seemed to be both evidence and testimony corroborating the fact that this happened. Some have speculated it was leniency for the fact she was a single mother. Whatever the case may be, this outcome enraged those who expected some level of accountability. And rather than show any level of regret or humility, Marissa decided to respond by
She's gonna go on goddamn X or something and start posting, y'all bitches thought I was going to jail? Nah, motherfucker, I'm gonna be here forever. This pussy costs money. Like some dumb shit like that.
Mocking the haters, even referencing her excuse for the child neglect by filming in front of a 7-Eleven.
Marissa.
This broad worse than Alyssa Mercante. I ain't gonna lie. This bitch worse than Alyssa Mercante.
Digital princess, you're back. Hello. Hey, isn't this your mugshot?
Then she doubled down.
Never change, Ricky.
I learned a lot while being on social media. And one of the things I've learned is that people online feel like they are entitled to know everything about my life because I have a platform. And they think that they can demand answers from me about my life that has nothing to do with them. People online want to act like they know everything about my life, when in reality, you only get to see 15 to 60-second clips of my life.
If that wasn't bad enough, Cloutier then announced she would be making an official statement, which would be available exclusively on her OnlyFans.
Bro, you neglected your child. You neglected your toddler. And now you're making people pay for your slut app to hear your side of the story. Like, I know earlier I said I was pro-capitalism, and I am. But there gotta be some limits, son.
Yes, she was charging people to access her child neglect statement to promote her uncensored materials. Needless to say, the backlash was swift and immediate. The entire internet crashed down on the e-girl, enough that it made her go into hiding for a month. When she returned, it was with another statement, this time at least trying to seem apologetic. She also clarified that she had never lost custody of her son. This was far from her last statement on the matter though, making numerous more TikToks and Twitter posts. None of them really swayed public opinion, as she basically says the same thing over and over, that either you believe she's changed or you don't. These other people trying to bring up my past in attempts to cancel me are only in the end trying to hurt Onyx.
Again, we've seen this pattern of behavior since she was like 14 or however old she was at the beginning of this video. I'm the victim and it's everyone else's fault, never my own. Fucking hell, dude.
Why try to ruin my source of income I used to take care of him? While she may have expected the dismissal to make this all go away, her career hasn't really recovered. As of writing, she hasn't gained any followers on TikTok over the past 4 years, having less than she did back in 2021. In 2023, the YouTube channel EWU Bodycam released never-before-seen footage of her arrest. Big shout out to this guy because
Yo, Zax, if you're watching, I think we found a new arrest video. I know how much you love doing those on Circle of Jerks.
because he was also able to get the Chris Chan body cam footage.
Oh, and it's the same channel that did the Chris Chan. This video was good. The Chris Chan shit was fucking golden.
His video confirmed once and for all what exactly happened that night. Their upload garnered over 2.6 million views. With now undeniable proof and the entire internet at her throat, she would finally stop evading responsibility, admitting she had
No. Stop right there. She is a woman. She is an e-whore, she is an e-thought, she is a single mom that neglects her child. Nothing about her could ever convince me that she has stopped avoiding accountability. Normal ass women, not y'all in the chat, you guys are awesome. You watch me, LMA, Fab, I mean, y'all know who you are, but there's a stereotype about women and accountability for a reason. I ain't gonna believe for a moment that she's somehow just like turned on a dime and is like, you know what? I am the problem. I should do better.
Made bad choices, and that in therapy she realized she needed to change for her son. Of course, this will never stop others from telling her story, like the one you're watching right now, or one by Ray William Johnson from earlier this year, which has garnered almost 1 million views. Yeah, apparently Ray is back on the internet and doing quite well for himself. Before we end this video though, I'd like to bring up a few of the responses she made in the aftermath that I haven't seen many people talk about, particularly regarding her son and the impact her online presence has had on his life. One of the few good decisions she made in light of all this was to never post Onyx on social media ever again. With the flood of comments either mocking him or pretending to be him, she was now being confronted with the absolute worst case scenario of overexposing your children on the World Wide Web. In one reply, a user stated, "I'm not going to address your recent fuck-up, but as a sex worker, you shouldn't have been posting him in the first place. You should have been safeguarding him. What if you had a stalker? Your only thought has been yourself for a long time. I hope that changes, mama." Marissa.
I love a post that can just verbally eviscerate somebody without any sort of swearing. There's a certain, like, just eloquentness to a harsh takedown done in a way that a third grade teacher could deliver.
Responded, "I've been very selfish in the past and I am changing that. Actions speak louder than words and I will continue to do everything for him and protect." Nevertheless, as many predicted and feared, it soon began to affect the child's real life, as shown in a tweet from Marissa in September 2022. "Tell me why these kids in my neighborhood are screaming at me in Onyx, calling me a whore. One of the kids lives across the street and is now commenting on my TikToks, apologizing because he doesn't want me to tell his parents."
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
That's all I got. Thanks, Fry.
2 months later, she began contemplating leaving sex work, expressing a new interest in cars. "I just want normal..."
That's a very strange change. Like, your entire life has been dedicated to your own pussy. And then on a dime, like, you know what's really interesting? Fuel pumps. Like, what?
Friends who don't try to fuck me. Like with cars, I genuinely want to be friends with guys who I think have super dope cars. But majority of the time, if I reach out, they think I'm trying to fuck because I suck wiener on the internet. In 2024, Marissa implied that year would be her last year of porn. "I really want to get more into cars and focus my career in that industry."
What career? What fucking career? Like, did you take the job working behind the counter in an AutoZone?
"I want my son to grow up and be proud of me, and I feel as staying in porn will cause more future issues with my relationships with those around me." However, she has since deleted the original tweets, and to this day continues to upload content to her OnlyFans.
She's learned nothing. All this time later, the moments and glimmers of potential self-awareness, and she's learned nothing. Internet, we don't deserve you.
And that pretty much wraps up the story of Pokey Princess. In hindsight, I find it baffling that the internet took her side when Nintendo asked the model to stop using their likeness. She tried to trademark the Pokey name, which forced their hand into taking action, as Game Freak couldn't risk the most valuable IP in the world being associated with a dysfunctional adult entertainer, especially considering the controversy that followed. While Marissa won't be winning Mother of the Year anytime soon, I can't help but have sympathy with the trauma and abuse she—
I mean, to be fair, if I was going to be completely fair, if it came down to, like, her versus Casey Anthony, she does have a shot. I will also say, in fairness, Casey Anthony is hotter. Like, let's be real.
She faced in her younger years. More often than not, this sort of background leads to an unhealthy view of intimacy, along with a myriad of other problems. With the COVID boom gone and her best money-making years behind her, all I can hope is that Digital Princess saved at least some of her money.
See, Zach's in the chat agrees. Casey Anthony, like, look, it's been enough time. We can acknowledge Casey Anthony was hot. Like, that's not justifying what she did. Casey Anthony, though, like, she was a looker, dude. She absolutely did it, by the way. She's like the white female OJ. But just like how we say OJ was great at the game, doesn't discount him, being a murderer and all. Dude, Casey Anthony was a babe, bro.
For her son's future, because I'm sure he's gonna need it.
That was a rabbit hole. That was awesome.
Released in 1990.
I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we got to drop the link in the chat so that you guys can. Wow, that was something. Give me one moment because I closed out the tab. I need to pull this up. Here we go. Found it. Oh wait, is this the right one? Oh well, whatever. I'll do it
From
later.
Vitality.
Anyway, that was great. Truly had a blast with that deep dive. And we're still going to be going for a while yet because I'm pretty sure we're just going to stream. We've already been going 2.5 hours. I'm pretty sure we're just going to go up until Niat's stream. So we're not ending yet. But that being said, these are my opinions. Let me know yours down in the comments down below, or let me know on X. You can find me at Bolt the Word, and please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not usually reacting to videos about Nintendo-obsessed e-whores, but usually about anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsberries_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord. Choose the articles we go over on a day-to-day basis. Choose the videos we react to on the Friday night live streams. Of course, get involved with over 200 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity. Only one kind of diversity. Diversity of thought. That's interesting to you. Join the Discord. Subscribe. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise. Yeah, like I said, we're not ending the stream. This is probably getting clipped into a video because that was a lot of fun. When does Niat's stream start? Let me make sure, because does it start at 6 or does it start at 7? It starts at 7. Okay, good. So we got plenty of time. I would like to take, before we get into our next reaction, I would like to take this time to remind you all about the GoFundMe in the pinned comment, because there's some people that are here now that weren't earlier on in the stream. Loomis Anonymous, LMA, pillar of the community. She's been part of the community, been part of the Vital Idols for literally as long as I can remember, and we're coming up on 3 years. Recently had a tragedy in the family, so in the pinned comment above, there's a link to the GoFundMe. If you were going to donate to me today and whatnot, and instead, I would rather that you just go to that GoFundMe and donate directly to LMA. Every little bit helps. Yeah, I know several of you already said you will, or you already have, and that's awesome. But for the people that are new here, or that may not have seen it earlier or anything to that effect, again, we try to take care of our own up in here. So just, do me a solid, check it out if you can. Obviously, if you can't, don't overextend yourself. But again, we try to look out for our own. So. All right, same news in 2.5 hours. I'll be here till then. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, we'll be going for roughly 2.5 hours. Really, we've only got 3 videos left, but it, I don't know how long these will take, so try and keep it light and fun on the show. Try and keep it light and fun. Alrighty. Give me 1 sec, because my voice is already starting to get raw, and I've got at least 3 other streams today. 3 more streams, I should say. I've got at least 3 more streams today. Alrighty. Every iconic 90s game that defined generations. I don't know the games that are on this list. Obviously Pokemon Red and Blue and Zelda Ocarina of Time. Over to the right, Final Fantasy 7. So point is, these are the iconic 90s games. I just want to see what he says about them, see if we agree, see if these are the pinnacle of 90s gaming. And, alright, let's go. Leon keeps jumping the gun. Dude, it's auto-playing them. I don't know why it's auto-playing them. Alrighty, here it is. Let's do it.
96 for the Game Boy, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue started what would become one of the largest entertainment franchises in history.
Absolutely. Out the gate, I agree this should be on the list. Pokemon Red and Blue, classics, staples, straight up perfection when they came out. I didn't get these games till 98, I believe, and I stole them from the school bully. 98, 99, somewhere around there. I stole them from a bully. Never gave them back. They were mine. But goddamn, I love these games.
They stood out for their collect and battle gameplay loop, sense of exploration, and social connection that turned a simple RPG into a worldwide phenomenon. Developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo, the games let players take on the role of a young Pokemon trainer, setting out to capture and train creatures.
Yes, I did steal them, Matt. I did. Fuck you, Connor. I highly doubt that nearly 30 years later Connor is seeing this. But if he is, and you wondered where your Pokemon games went, shouldn't have been trying to pick on kids littler than you, bitch.
Known as Pokemon. The goal was straightforward. Defeat the 8 gym leaders, challenge the Elite Four, and become the Pokemon champion. But the journey was what made it unforgettable. Each Pokemon had unique types, abilities, and evolutions. Battles were turn-based yet strategic, forcing players to think about matchups and planning rather than reflexes.
Baby's first RPG. Now, in all reality, Red and Blue don't hold up. They don't. There's no reason to ever go back to Red and Blue these days. Fire Red, yes. Fire Red, you absolutely can and should. Fire Red and Leaf Green are great. But there's no reason to go back to the original Red and Blue. I mean, if like, play the this is one of the few instances where I'm like, yeah, play the remakes. The remakes are absolutely better. But yeah, baby's first RPG. If you want your kids to understand turn-based RPGs, get them into like Gen 3 and 4 maybe of Pokemon, and it'll teach them those mechanics, then you can get them into like Final Fantasy and shit.
Training, and evolving Pokemon created a natural rhythm of progress that rewarded patience and curiosity. What truly made Pokemon Red and Blue special was the trading system. By linking 2 Game Boys together with a cable, players could trade Pokemon that weren't available in their version, encouraging cooperation instead of isolation. It turned gaming into a social experience long before online play existed. The design captured something unique.
Well, he's wrong. This is not long before online play existed. You had online games in 96, but I get what he means, I guess.
Universal, the desire to collect, grow, and compete. Behind its simple art and 8-bit music was an emotional hook. Players formed attachments to their Pokemon, naming them, raising them, and feeling real pride in their victories. It wasn't just about winning, it was about building a team that felt personal.
So, he's talking about like having, bonds and relationships with Pokemon and stuff. So I had this buddy when I was a kid named Ethan, right? And Ethan used an action replay on his Pokemon game. I think it was Sapphire. And he used it to make his Pikachu level 99. And so I told him, dude, you shouldn't have done that. Now he'll never evolve because you can't get him any stronger. Maybe it was level 100, whatever the max was, level 100. I was like, dude, your Pikachu will never evolve now because you've got him at max level. And he was so fucking bummed that he would never get to evolve his Pikachu into a Raichu, not knowing that you used an electric stone to do it. Like, and by the way, I knew. I was fucking with him. I didn't know he didn't know. And when I saw him get legitimately hurt that it would now never evolve into a Raichu because he couldn't level it up anymore, I didn't tell him. I was like, oh my god, homie doesn't know. He'll never get to have a Raichu, he thinks. And like, I was an evil little bastard, dude.
From a technical standpoint, the game pushed...
Hey, Valiant Goat coming in with 5 gifted Words of Paradise memberships. Shout out. Thank you so much, homie. This is for you.
Name one word that starts with G pronounced like J. Gentrification. Shoot, should have thought of that. I was just in San Francisco.
Shout out, man. Truly appreciate it. Thank you oh so much. And, by the way, Ethan, I'm not sorry.
The Game Boy far beyond expectations. Its compact world map, inventory systems, and link cable battles created depth that rivaled home console RPGs. What made Pokemon Red and Blue legendary was how they merged simplicity, emotion, and connection into one experience. They sparked a global community of players, leading to anime, trading cards, and decades of sequels that continue to evolve the same core idea. Nearly 30 years later, that original concept still thrives, now in HD and 4K remakes across...
I mean, are we really going to call the modern state of Pokemon thriving? I mean, I guess on a technical level because of how much money it makes it is, but Pokemon's a fucking shadow of its former self, dude.
Nintendo's modern systems, with refined mechanics and new generations of Pokemon...
Yo! Everybody in the chat right now, give a good, big, badass, happy birthday, Niat. Film Comics Explained, our birthday boy is in the chat. We're streaming all the way up until his birthday when we're going to raid into him. So yes, everybody right now, happy birthday, Film Comics Explained. Happy birthday, Niat, whatever it be. Give some big ups to our brother from down under.
Pokemon that continue to capture the hearts of players young and old. The adventure that began on a grey Game Boy screen in 1996 still echoes today. Timeless proof that the magic of exploration, friendship, and discovery never fades. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I don't give a fuck what anyone... Like, I don't know how many people would ever actually argue this. This is not only, like, one of the most iconic games of the 90s. This will forever be one of the most iconic games of all time. It holds up brilliantly. Dude, I love Legend of Zelda retrospectives. I watch them all the time. And I'm so tired of hearing people say it doesn't hold up by today's standards, as if there's like some obligation to say that in every single fucking retrospective. And, fuck you, yes it does. This game holds up fucking brilliantly. What are you talking about? Masterpiece, son. This, like legitimate it's not even my favorite Zelda game, mind you. It's top 5, but like, on a subjective level, this isn't even my favorite Zelda game. But setting my personal bias for the Zelda games on a better side, fucking masterpiece.
In 1998, the Nintendo 64 gave the world something that felt impossible. A fantasy world that actually breathed. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time didn't just move the series into 3D, it redefined what adventure could feel like. It was a massive world-building feat for its time, filled with secrets, collectibles, and challenges that kept players coming back. Each region looked and played differently. Every dungeon introduced new ideas, and the time travel mechanic tied it all together in a way that made our young minds explode. It wasn't just impressive technology, it was imagination finally unleashed. Players stepped into the boots of Link, the silent hero chosen to stand against time itself. Armed with courage, a sword, and a magical ocarina, he set out to save a kingdom on the edge of ruin. But this wasn't...
Nah, we gotta stop this link glazing, bro. We gotta stop this link glazing. We all know the real hero of the story is motherfucking Navi.
Only about quests or bosses, it was about discovery. Every path hinted at mystery, every door promised wonder. Hyrule felt alive, like a place that existed long before you turned on the console. Ocarina of Time introduced systems that became the blueprint for decades of action-adventure games. Lock-on targeting, horseback riding that felt free, and seamless day-night cycles that made the world move without you. Every detail drew you deeper into the illusion that this was more than...
Everybody in the chat, shame Avernum Solantis for never having played this. Shame this man into playing this fucking game. That is criminal.
In a game, it was a living story. Its emotional weight came from contrast, innocence and danger, childhood and destiny. You began as a curious boy and ended as a warrior facing darkness that felt far too real. When Link first pulled the Master Sword and stepped into the future, players realized games could make you feel time itself. And then there was the music, the heartbeat of the world.
Oh, you cut me so deep,
Each note
Fab.
from the ocarina changed weather, opened doors, or summoned friends. It proved that sound could be more than background. It could be magic. Ocarina of Time wasn't just a milestone.
Shame the Soviet Union for the Iron Curtain, bro. We didn't have the N64. I didn't know that you were a fucking Russian viewer. Shout out. Welcome. I had no idea. Yes, I will always shame the Soviet Union. Fuck communism. Communism's the devil.
It was a masterpiece of atmosphere, pacing, and wonder.
That being said, it's 2025. Find a way to play this fucking game. Oh, Fab, that is such a disgusting take. That is such a disgusting take, girl.
It showed that technology could serve emotion,
fair enough.
that silence could tell a story, and that courage, even in pixels, could feel utterly real. To this day, every open-world adventure still echoes the melody it played.
Final Fantasy VII, released in 19...
So here's the dealio. So Fab, in the chat, said Final Fantasy VII over Ocarina of Time, and she's wrong. Look. I respect Final Fantasy VII. I do. I respect it. It saved the Final Fantasy franchise. It was a whole new world for people who were just getting into it on the PlayStation. I get it. But 9 is better. 9 will always be better. 9 dwarfs 7 in every possible way. Better stories, better characters, better world building, better fucking music. 9 fucking eviscerate 7. It's not even close.
97 for the PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII became one of the most...
All that being said, I have bought this game 4 fucking times across various different platforms. So, Matt Funcool, 10 is my top 5 Final Fantasy games. My top Final Fantasy games are Tactics, 9, 10, 6, and 15. And 10 and 6 can alternate spots.
Influential RPGs in gaming history. It stood out for its cinematic storytelling, emotional depth, and technical achievements that redefined what video games could be. Developed by Square, the game brought the long-running series into full 3D for the first time. Players took control of Cloud Strife, a mercenary drawn into a war between the
And hot take, I hate Cloud. I do. Now to be fair, Cloud is not so bad in this game. He's not. It's all of the follow-up shit they did with Cloud. Advent Children, which I like the movie, but Cloud sucks. Kingdom Hearts, the new remake of 7. Cloud fucking sucks. In this game, he's fine. But everything after this, Cloud fucking sucks.
rebel group Avalanche and the corrupt Shinra Corporation. What began as a small job evolved into a story about identity, memory, and the fight to protect a dying planet. The world of Final Fantasy VII felt vast and alive, from the industrial glow of Midgar to quiet villages, snowy mountains, and airships cutting through the sky. Its mix of science fiction and fantasy created an atmosphere that felt both futuristic and human. The game's pre-rendered visuals, orchestral music, and cinematic direction pushed the PlayStation's hardware to its limits and set a new benchmark for storytelling in games. Combat combined strategy and pace through the materia system, which gave players full control over how their characters use magic and abilities. The result was flexible, satisfying, and endlessly replayable. Its cast helped define the genre. Tifa, Aerith, Barret, and Sephiroth became timeless figures. Sephiroth, calm and
Man, every time motherfuckers bring up this game, they always leave out Jesse. It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up.
Calculating, stood out as one of gaming's most memorable villains. His presence, theme music, and descent into madness turned him into a cultural icon. Then came the moment that changed everything, the death of Aerith. It was unexpected, heartbreaking, and unforgettable.
Yes, he's dude, alright. Yes, he's miserable. I fucking hate these emo bitch boy characters, right? I can't Sasuke, Cloud, like, I hate that archetype, dude. I like the young plucky hero. I like our Zidanes. I like our Gokus. Like, once you turn Cloud into a little fucking, like 2009 Twitter bitch boy, I fucking hate it, man. I'm so tired of these emo cucks. Fucking A.
That single scene proved video games could tell stories with emotional power equal to film or literature. Beyond its story, Final Fantasy VII was a technical and artistic breakthrough. Its use of full-motion cutscenes, 3D environments, and cinematic framing transformed how games could present narrative and emotion. It also helped bring Japanese RPGs to mainstream Western audiences for the first time.
War Wizard for 199 says base Sasuke hate. Dude, Sasuke is my least favorite anime character of all time. Like for real. If, like, gun to my head, someone said, who do you hate more, Sasuke Uchiha or Shao Tucker? I'm straight up choosing Sasuke. I am straight up choosing Sasuke over Shao fucking Tucker.
Made Final Fantasy VII legendary was its perfect balance of innovation, emotion, and scale. It wasn't just an RPG, it was a complete experience that defined an era and shaped everything that came after it. More than 2 decades later, its legacy still echoes through the industry. The Final Fantasy VII Remake reintroduced the story in full HD and 4K across every modern PlayStation generation, continuing to evolve with new chapters and polished reimaginings. Even now, its world, characters, and music remain symbols of how powerful storytelling in games can be.
And yet, this fucking dumbass modern-day Square Enix will try and tell you the remake is the definitive version. That's the version you should play. Like Square Enix themselves going out of their way to try and erase this game's existence and cultural relevance. Fuck you, Square.
A legend that refuses to fade. In 1996, Capcom dropped a game that rewired fear itself.
To be fair, Solantis, Itachi is my second favorite character in all of Naruto. I love Itachi. I ain't even gonna front.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, son! That's right! Although, to be fair, if we're talking most iconic games that define the 90s, I actually think Resident Evil 2 should be the game on here. And that's not me being biased, because my favorite is Resident Evil 3 from the original PS1 trilogy. But Resident Evil 2, I think, was far more definitive than, far more definitive than Resident Evil 1 created the genre, but Resident Evil 2 solidified the genre. I think more people respect and admire Resident Evil 2 than Resident Evil 1.
Evil didn't just launch a franchise, it invented a genre. It was the birth of survival horror, a new kind of terror that wasn't loud or frantic. It was slow, quiet, and inevitable. This was the game that kept kids awake at night and proved horror didn't belong only in movies. You played as Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine, members of STARS, trapped inside.
Did this bitch just say STARS instead of stars? Yo, what the fuck are we? Fake fucking gamer, bro. Fake fucking. I have never, even people that have never played the game know to say stars. Bro, think the narrator's AI? You think so? Maybe the narrator's AI. Even if the narrator's AI, then that means the dumbass dude who wrote the script, he could have just put the word stars. Oh, bro, this is... You know what? Oh, 27 subscribers. Sorry, man. You gotta learn. You gotta learn. You guys think I'm being too harsh? Think I'm being too harsh? See if it says in the comments. I didn't see what those were. I didn't look at it. Let's see. Well, I don't know. It doesn't say whether it's AI or not, but he earned a downvote.
A mansion that looked grand on the outside but hid pure madness within. Every door creak felt like a heartbeat. Every hallway felt alive and watching.
In fact,
the fixed camera.
In fact, hold on. I'm even gonna. I was his first downvote. I'm even gonna say it. Alrighty. There we go. Downvoted because of how you pronounce stars. Is that petty? Yes. Will you learn from it? Also, yes. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Angles were suffocating, forcing you to see less than you wanted. The stiff, deliberate controls made you feel human, fragile, not heroic. You didn't sprint through fear, you endured it. The mansion itself became a character, maze-like, elegant, and decaying. Locked doors, shattered portraits, and echoing corridors built tension with every step. Those uneasy sounds, the slow groan of hinges, the crack of glass underfoot, the whisper of bodies stirring when you passed, turned the house into a symphony of dread. Then came the moment that changed gaming forever. The first zombie, slowly...
It did change. I'll give him that. It did change gaming forever. Like, Resident Evil 2, like someone else said earlier, like, defined what horror games would be and would go on to be. But this moment did change gaming forever.
Turning its head toward the camera. The narrow corners and tight corridors squeezed you closer to the undead, leaving nowhere to run. It wasn't a jump scare, it was a declaration you're never safe again. Resident Evil made you treat bullets like gold. Every shot mattered, every herb was a dilemma. Heal now or risk dying later. The limited inventory slots made every decision count, and even saving the game required ink ribbons, a mechanic that made every save point feel like a lifeline. That punishing scarcity was its genius. It forced players to think, conserve, and panic quietly. Every encounter was a test.
Man, back in the day when I was playing this for the first time, I was always like, you never play it, so you don't know the layout of the mansion, you don't know when your next ink ribbon will be, you don't know how many left in the game. Like, I've never been scared to save a game before. It's like, what this is the last time I could save for who knows how long? What's my health status at? Like, a horror game so effective that it gave you anxiety to save the game. That is brilliant fucking design.
Of nerve as much as skill. Fight or flee, survive or die. Beneath the monsters lurked a colder horror, the Umbrella Corporation, a mirror of real-world greed and corruption, turning science into weaponry and progress into plague. The story mixed B-movie charm with genuine dread, a perfect storm of camp and fear that somehow felt believable. Sound design sealed the experience. Silence itself became the enemy. Each footstep, each click of a lock carried weight. Even the save rooms, those brief sanctuaries filled with gentle piano, felt temporary, fragile, like safety borrowed on...
Dude, before I went live today, before I set up the stream, or before I, like up until maybe 5 minutes before actually going live, I was listening to the Resident Evil 2 soundtrack, but like smooth jazz cover versions. The music in these games are so good, dude. The music in these games is so good. Like, smooth jazz Resident Evil save rooms. Oh, it was so good.
Credits. That first entry became the blueprint for everything that followed. Inventory management, resource scarcity, environmental storytelling, and that slow unraveling of mystery through scattered notes. But no sequel or remake has ever captured the raw shock of 1996. That first creaking door, that first undead stare, the moment gaming itself learned how to make us afraid. Mortal Kombat, released in 1990.
Yeah, you know what? This does deserve to be on here. I didn't think about this for a moment. Because, like, Mortal Kombat, I wasn't sure if it defined the 90s, because in my opinion, like, I would give it to Street Fighter 2. And maybe Street Fighter 2's on this list, I don't know. But the cultural phenomenon that was Mortal Kombat because of, like, the gore and everything, yeah, this deserves to be on the list. I shouldn't have had to think about that hard.
Mortal Kombat became one of the most influential fighting games in history. It stood out for 3 key reasons: realistic visuals, extreme violence, and the controversy that reshaped the gaming industry. Unlike the hand-drawn art of Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat used digitized...
And see, look, maybe this is just a me thing. In fact, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. The hand-drawn art is so much better. So much better. Like, from a visual perspective, I've always hated how the early Mortal Kombat games looked, man. I don't like the photorealistic sort of thing. It didn't look good then, and it doesn't look good now. And maybe it's just a personal preference thing, but I don't like it.
Actors, giving its characters a realistic look and movement that felt new for the time. The animations were sharp and the fighters had distinct styles and special moves that made each one memorable. The gameplay was simple to learn but difficult to master. It introduced a heavy, deliberate combat rhythm, slower than Street Fighter but with stronger impact. Matches felt tense, and players learned timing, combos, and counters through precision rather than speed. Then came its most defining feature, the fatalities. After winning a match, players could input a short command sequence to perform an over-the-top finishing move. It was shocking.
Hey, Fab for a 5-banger. Said this already, but I'll say it again. You want stars? I'll give you stars. Jill Valentine, Resident Evil Nemesis, such an iconic fucking and they destroyed it in the remake. It's awful what they did to it. They put it in as a throwaway line when you're running away from Nemesis, like the second time you meet him. It doesn't have any impact. It doesn't have any weight. She just mutters it. She doesn't even say it confidently, like when she does it in the original. It's awful. It's baffling how badly they fucked up one of the most iconic lines in the entire franchise. Oh, I hate it. The entire thing. I hate Resident Evil 3, like I said, is my favorite of the original trilogy. The remake of Resident Evil 3 is one of the worst video games I've ever played in my life. Like, truly one of the single worst video games I've ever played in my life. Anyway, Fab, shout out. Thank you so much. Truly appreciated. Let's give you a clip.
I'm loving the game. The game would absolutely get a pretty high score from me.
How many bananas?
A solid 8.5 incher for sure.
No.
And wouldn't it be nice to live together?
Creative, and instantly iconic. These finishes made Mortal Kombat stand out, turning it into a phenomenon in arcades and a major talking point in households. The violence sparked nationwide controversy. Parents and politicians criticized the game's content, especially in the US, leading directly to...
Mind you, these are the same politicians that, fly on Epstein's plane to fuck underage girls and boys and are like talking about how motherfuckers need Jesus and making laws based on Christian doctrine when also like fucking dudes in gas station bathrooms. So yeah, I don't give a good goddamn what any politician says.
The creation of the ESRB rating system, Entertainment Software Rating Board, which still rates video games today. No other title before it had such a direct effect on regulation and public perception. Beyond the blood and controversy, Mortal Kombat built its own identity. Its tone, characters, and world, a blend of martial arts, mysticism, and science.
Faye is 100% correct. The new Resident Evil games take out the camp. They play it so straight, and it's awful.
Fiction set it apart from every other fighting game. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden became lasting icons in gaming culture. The original Mortal Kombat proved that fighting games could have style, story, and edge. Its legacy lies in how it redefined presentation, brought mainstream attention to gaming, and influenced every modern fighting game that followed. Released in 1998 for...
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, bro. This is another one of those I think is one of the most iconic games like of all time. And I don't even like this game that much. I'm gonna be real. This is my hot take. I feel like I haven't given a hot take in a minute, and that's what I'm known for. I don't really like this game. I never really have. I've never been a Metal Gear fan. I'm not bad, or I'm not. Maybe I am bad. I don't know. I'm not bad at the game, is what I was gonna say, but I don't know. I respect it. I know it's legacy. I just don't care for this game. But damn, does it deserve to be on this list.
The PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid is often credited with transforming video games into true cinematic experiences. It stood out for its stealth-based gameplay, complex storytelling.
Same politicians who do all manner of. Wait, the same politicians who do all matter. All right, so there's some typos in there. That's fine. I get what you're saying now. Both sexual and ending people pretend to care about video games causing violence, which still hasn't been proven. No, it's been disproven multiple times.
And presentation that blurred the line between movies and games. Unlike most...
Dax, you say you hate how like vague the descriptions are. To be fair, this is a new channel. Dude's got 27 subscribers. I'm giving him a bit of a pass on that. Like, how many videos does he have out? Let's take a look. This is his very first video. Like, AI or not, like, this is his very first video. I'm not judging the genericness of the script. It's his first video.
Action titles of its time, Metal Gear Solid rewarded patience.
Which, to be fair, now that I'm thinking about it, I got recommended this video in my feed. So the fact that this is his very first video ever, and it's like clicking in the algorithm, almost got 1,000 views, that's actually pretty impressive.
Over aggression.
Yeah, I think
Players
it's probably
took control of Solid.
So I think the script was probably made by AI for sure. I don't know if it was written or if it's read by AI, but it definitely seems like it was written by AI.
Snake, an elite soldier sent to infiltrate a nuclear weapons facility and stop a terrorist group known as Foxhound. Instead of charging in guns blazing, the goal was to avoid detection, using stealth, gadgets, and strategy to outsmart enemies. This slower, tactical approach was new to most players and set the foundation for the modern stealth genre. The game's design emphasized realism and immersion. Enemies didn't just stand idle, they reacted to sound, footprints, and movement in the...
I don't think this is the game that hold on. What year did Metal Gear Solid come out? What year was Metal Gear Solid released? It was 98. All right. And okay, so Spyro was September 9th. Oh, they were literally just days apart? Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure Spyro was the first one to conceive of that, of the enemies actually reacting to you. This game may have come out first, because like I don't know how true it is, but I was watching this gaming documentary, and the gaming documentary was talking about how Spyro the Dragon was the very first 3D game to come up with the idea, because like they were based on Crash Bandicoot, and Crash Bandicoot had like the enemies were always walking on a set path and stuff, and Spyro was the very first one to have them actually interact to you on your based on your approach. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what the doc said, so.
In their field of vision. If they heard something suspicious, they would investigate first before opening fire, creating a dynamic awareness system that made every encounter unpredictable. When spotted, players heard the now iconic...
Sleepy Nova, member for 1 month, says Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes is goated. Maybe. I'll take your word for it. I don't like Metal Gear Solid. I don't like the series as a whole. So, like, for people that do like it, fair enough. I'm not going to call them bad. I can say they're objectively well-made games, but I don't like them.
Iconic alert sound,
Also,
signaling
thank
that
you for
the
the
enemy
membership,
had
bud.
locked onto Snake's position. That single tone became one of the most recognizable audio cues in gaming history, a perfect symbol of tension and panic. Every element in the environment.
Fab with a 20 banger. What fobs me off is you can now get the OG Nemesis on the PS5 now via premium subscription, including 1 and 2 also on premium. Luckily, yeah, GOG does have it. Probably get the OG 1 and 2 from GOG. Not paying premium. Fuck that. I've bought 4 things ever from GOG. Duke Nukem 3D, and then all 3 of the original Resident Evils. I've streamed at least part of Resident Evil 3 on this channel. You can go back and find those streams. Yeah, GOG's great. Yeah, fuck paying for premium. GOG is the way to go. I would definitely recommend getting them that way. 100%. I will warn you of this, though. Resident Evil 2 has a problem, with the... Now, maybe it's been updated since. I haven't played it in months. But when it released on GOG, it had a problem to where the port was a bit fucked up and it wouldn't play the cutscenes on certain types of computers. The gameplay and everything works fine, brilliantly. And the HD upscaling and stuff looks great. But you would hear the audio for the cutscenes, but it would just be a black screen. I thought it was just my PC, and so I started Googling it. Now, people all over the world were having that problem. I don't know if that's been fixed. So, alrighty, let's get you a clip real quick. You know what? Speaking of Resident Evil, I'll give you this clip. I will come anywhere you want me to come.
All over his backside, run!
I want to fuck you in the ass right now. Thank you. It's nice to get some appreciation around here.
Thank you so much, Fab. Truly appreciate it, girly. Alright, let's keep going.
Environment felt purposeful. Security cameras, vents, motion detectors, and even footprints in the snow. Together, they built a world that felt operational. Not just a backdrop, but a functioning military base where mistakes had real consequences. What truly made Metal Gear Solid iconic was its storytelling and direction. The game used cinematic camera angles, professional voice acting, and long dialogue.
I think he's being a little, overzealous with the term professional voice acting. Let's be real, guys. Almost none of the games from this era had particularly great voice acting. At least not to begin with. So, like Resident Evil 2, for example, was a huge step up from Resident Evil 1 in terms of the voice acting department, things like that. Metal Gear Solid's known for its shaky voice acting.
Dialogue-driven scenes to tell a mature, character-centered story, something rare in the 1990s gaming. Themes of loyalty, identity.
I didn't say I didn't play the game. I have played the game. I said I don't like the game. I've played the game a couple times, actually. I just don't like it. There's a complete difference. How do I know that I don't like something if I've never played it? I get you don't like that I have a different opinion of you, and that's fine. But don't accuse me of doing something if you don't know whether or not I have or haven't done it.
And the morality of war.
And yes, by the way, the voice acting in the game is not good. Why did I play something I dislike more than once? Why would you watch a movie you dislike more than once? Or eat a food you dislike more than once? Because opinions change over time. Opinions change over time. I could find something new that I didn't notice the first time playing through. Find new respect, new opinions, things like that.
Gave the narrative emotional weight that rivaled film. Its boss fights became legendary for creativity and psychological depth. The battle with Psycho Mantis remains one of gaming's most unforgettable moments. He didn't just fight the player, he broke the fourth wall, reading the console's memory card to comment on which games you had played, even praising or mocking your habits. He could make your controller move using the rumble feature and force players to switch controller ports to bypass his mind-reading ability. It wasn't just clever, it was revolutionary, proving a game could directly interact with the player beyond the screen.
Every mission, codec...
You see, it also wasn't the first game to do that either, though. Like, he keeps attributing that Metal Gear is like the first one to do XYZ when it wasn't. Other games broke the fourth wall and stuff before Metal Gear. I'm pretty sure Mario broke the fourth wall before fucking Metal Gear.
And cutscene built a sense of
Right,
tension that felt
CFH90?
cinematic
Yeah, so like
and
different people have
deliberate.
different opinions,
It
which
wasn't
may change
just
over
an
time.
action game. It was performance and atmosphere working together. Metal Gear Solid proved
Well, no, I don't know what the controller thing. I was just talking about breaking the fourth wall, because that's the way he talked about it.
that video games could tell serious, intelligent...
How many games actually read your memory card and made you disconnect the controller from Portland to plug it into port 2? Okay, I didn't say that it wasn't the first game to do that. I said it wasn't the first game to break the fourth wall. Dude, you're sitting here getting up, say spaghetti, because I got a fucking different opinion than you. You're not even listening to what I'm saying. You're finding shit to argue with without listening to what I'm saying. I said it wasn't the first game to break the fourth wall.
Story.
I get what he's talking about. I'm criticizing his script because the way he wrote it out was poorly written. The same way I've criticized multiple other things in his script about. I noticed you didn't get all pissy when I was criticizing the scripting portions of Resident Evil. You're only doing it now because it's a game that you like, which is fine, but recognize your own hypocrisy, Tommy boy.
Stories while keeping gameplay at the center. The game's success defined an entire genre and elevated its creator Hideo Kojima into one of the most recognized directors in the industry. Its influence can be seen everywhere, from stealth mechanics in Splinter Cell and Hitman to the narrative ambition of modern story-driven titles. More than 25 years later...
Well, see, that's the difference, though. I've played both, Resident Evil and this, and I've criticized his script writing in both. In fact, I've played every game he's talked about up to this point, so I feel very qualified to commentate on how his script is written. I'm not being emotionally attached to this. In fact, I'm being quite objective about this.
Metal Gear Solid remains a landmark, not just for what players did in it, but for how it made them think about games. Its ideas about immersion, storytelling, and player interaction still shape the medium today. A timeless proof that stealth and storytelling, when combined, can be pure art. Released in 1999 for the PlayStation...
Qualified, yes, I'm qualified.
Harvest Moon Back to Nature
Finally, a game I haven't played, because I fucking hate these sorts of games.
redefined what a life simulation could be. Instead of battles or quests, it focused on routine, growth, and community, turning everyday farm life into one of the most relaxing and rewarding experiences in gaming. Developed by Victor Interactive Software,
there's no such thing as a cozy game that is rewarding. Cozy games fucking suck.
the gameplay plays in the role of a young man returning to his
CFH90.
late grandfather's neglected farm in Mineral Town. The premise was simple but emotional. Rebuild the farm, reconnect with the townspeople, and rediscover the girl you met there as a child. That personal story gave Back to Nature a quiet but heartfelt purpose that tied everything together. What made Back to Nature
When Kata plays it, it's called Harvest Moon. Bro, that's evil.
stand out was its depth and pacing. Time moved day by day,
Dude, I
with
hate Animal
seasons
Crossing. I
shaping
hate
what
Animal
you could
Crossing
grow
so
and
goddamn
do.
much.
It wasn't just about farming. Players could cook, fish, mine for ore, chop wood, or join seasonal festivals. At the same time, the farm itself was a long-term project. You could expand your house, upgrade
yourself,
barns and
Tiger
coops,
King.
buy new tools, and shape the land into a thriving estate. Watching your small plot slowly evolve into a fully developed farm created a deep sense of satisfaction and progress. The social life
Dax, dude, it just clicked. Your joke can be made even better. Like, when Kata plays it, when Kata plays it, it's a demand. Harvest, coon! Like his fucking slave master telling him what to do.
in Mineral Town became
Oh,
the
my throat
emotional
feels so
center
fucked.
of the game. Each villager had their own routines, likes, and quirks. Building friendships through conversation and gifts gave the town a genuine sense of life and community. The most iconic feature was the romance system, choosing one of the town's girls to pursue, raising her affection through daily interactions, and eventually marrying her. For many players, this became the main goal, finding the girl they connected with most and starting a family.
Dude, I'm glad that this game is more or less lost to time. Because look at the way that character's drawn. Twitter leftists would throw a fucking bitch fit about this being pedophile gooner content now.
Love interest had unique heart events, special cutscenes that revealed their personality as affection grew. Watching these moments unfold, from shy encounters to marriage proposals, made the relationships feel personal and
Fab, I need to know, how do you pronounce the main character from Final Fantasy X's name? Like, you personally. How do you pronounce the main character's name? I need to find out what sort of Final Fantasy fan you are.
earned. The atmosphere pulled everything together. Peaceful background music, shifting weather, and the rhythm of daily chores made Mineral Town feel warm and alive. Where most games rewarded speed or aggression, Back to Nature rewarded consistency, care, and balance. From a design standpoint, it was ahead of its time. It combined farm management, RPG progression, and social simulation seamlessly.
You're all wrong. So far, you're all wrong. It's Titus. Oh my god, Fab, okay. She is a real Final Fantasy fan. Ain't no fake girl gamer in this bitch. She's a real fan. I, like you, pronounced it Titus back then. I learned it was Titus. I've said Titus ever since, because that's his fucking name. His name is Titus.
A formula that inspired later classics like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. What made Harvest Moon Back to Nature iconic—
God, I hate fucking Stardew Valley so goddamn much. Fuck, I hate that game.
Was how it celebrated the joy of ordinary life, the quiet rewards of hard work, connection, and self-built success. It proved that games didn't need combat or crisis to be meaningful, just purpose, patience, and heart. Command & Conquer Red Alert. Released in 1996 for PC, Command & Conquer Red Alert is considered one of the most iconic real-time strategy games ever made. It stood out.
Lenny, I hate all cozy games. I fucking loathe cozy games. I think they are an insult to gaming.
For its accessible gameplay—
You want a game without combat and stuff? That's fine. I'm not saying games need to be combat fests. Play fucking Tetris. Tetris doesn't have combat, but still locks you in. There's still some fucking skill to it. There's still some like, sit up 90-degree angle and lock in moments. Cozy games are— if you want to play a cozy game, read a fucking book.
Presentation and alternate history storyline that blended military tactics with Cold War style fiction. Developed by Westwood Studios, Red Alert built on the foundation of the—
Well, to be fair, we don't know what games are left, but yeah, I don't think Command & Conquer should be on this list. I agree with you, Toxin. This is the first one that, I think there's other games from the 90s that definitely deserve to be here more.
Original Command & Conquer, but refined nearly every element. It introduced smoother controls, smarter AI, and a faster pace that made strategic combat feel both manageable—
I will be playing Rock Simulator because it was gifted to me, yes.
—and intense. The game's clear interface, where players built bases, gathered resources, and deployed units in real time, became the model for modern RTS design. What truly—
Yes, War Wizard, yes, reading is gay. But playing cozy games is trans, and gay is better than trans.
What really set Red Alert apart was its setting and tone. Rather than a futuristic or fantasy theme, it imagined an alternate version of the 20th century. A world where Albert Einstein traveled back in time and erased Hitler from history, leaving the Soviet Union to rise unchecked against the Allies. This what-if scenario gave the game a distinct mix of Cold War tension and science fiction flair. Players could choose to command either the Allied or—
Warcraft was absolutely more impactful. Yeah, Warcraft was absolute as a fucking RTS, for sure Warcraft was more impactful.
Soviet side, each with its own special units, strengths, and technologies. This faction system gave the game strategic depth and replayability, letting players explore completely different approaches to victory. Gameplay balanced base building with tactical combat.
Bro, I've said reading is gay so much since hanging out with Zax. I don't know how many of you guys actually think I believe that or not. For the record, I don't actually believe reading is gay. I'm actually a very big proponent of reading. I don't read. I listen to audiobooks. But it is funny. Aren't I reading that smut book? Oh, you mean... Wait, where is it? I thought I had it right over here. Oh! you mean... Morning Glory Milking Farm? I'm not reading this. Although, again, for super chats, I will read excerpts of it.
Players managed or to fund production while commanding armies of tanks, infantry, and naval units across land and sea. Matches required both strategy and timing. Knowing when to expand, defend, or launch an all-out assault often decided the outcome. Red Alert also became famous for its multiplayer experience. Through LAN and modem connections.
Didn't Command and Conquer? No, I'm thinking Wing Commander. Never mind. Ignore what I was about to say. It's retarded.
Players could battle friends long before online gaming became common. Its balanced gameplay and diverse unit roster made it a competitive favorite for years.
It is better to imagine myself as the Minotaur than to imagine myself as the woman.
The game's presentation further set it apart. Red Alert featured live-action cutscenes with real actors and memorable voice lines, giving it a level of personality and cinematic flair uncommon in strategy titles of the era. What made Command & Conquer Red Alert truly iconic was how it combined accessibility with depth. It was easy for newcomers to grasp, but challenging for veterans to master. Its design influenced countless later strategy titles, from StarCraft to Age of Empires. The legacy didn't stop there. Its follow-ups, Red Alert 2 2000 and Yuri's Revenge 2001, expanded the universe with richer graphics, faster gameplay, and over-the-top personality, pushing the series to legendary.
And yes, by all means, it did all these things. I'm not denying it. But the 90s was like we have an entire decade worth of games that would go on to define generations. Command & Conquer just doesn't have that to it. Like everyone's been saying Warcraft. Warcraft is absolutely more genre defining. Absolutely more genre defining. Like, yes, this went on to inspire like other games and whatnot. Warcraft went on to create effectively an entire new genre of game.
Status within the RTS genre. Even decades later, Red Alert remains a benchmark for the RTS genre, remembered for its balance, creativity, and unique alternate history setting that turned a strategy game into a piece of gaming history. Doom. Released in...
Alright, here we go. Here we go. Doom. Just like fucking Mortal Kombat. Not Mortal Kombat, just like Metal Gear Solid, just like Ocarina of Time. This is not just genre defining for the 90s. This is defining for the history of video games. Brilliant addition to the list.
1993 for PC, Doom is one of the most influential video games ever made. It didn't just popularize the first-person shooter, it defined it. Developed by id Software, the game revolutionized how players saw, heard, and felt action in a digital world.
Bro, that
at its
fucking
core, Doom was simple,
soundtrack, baby.
Move fast, shoot monsters, and survive. But the execution was groundbreaking. It introduced players to a smooth 3D perspective, fluid movement, and fast-paced combat that felt unlike anything before it. The level design emphasized...
While I still prefer Duke Nukem, god damn is this not just objectively perfection.
Speed and exploration, with mazes, hidden rooms, and verticality that encouraged replay and experimentation. The technology behind Doom was equally revolutionary.
Yo, you say without Doom we don't get Half-Life, and you know what, fair enough. Without Doom, bro, we don't get Chex Quest. Enough fucking said.
Its advanced graphics engine simulated 3D environments, dynamic lighting, and realistic spatial sound, features that were cutting edge for the early 90s. It also supported multiplayer deathmatch and co-op play, pioneering online and LAN gaming years before it became mainstream. The atmosphere was a big part of its identity. The heavy metal-inspired soundtrack...
People are still modding and ROM hacking the original Doom to this day. This is a generational fucking... This might be the second most influential game on this list after Ocarina of Time. Like, so far, I think of all the games listed, Ocarina is at the top. I think Doom is probably the second most inspirational. I really do.
Demonic enemies and blood-soaked visuals gave Doom a distinctive tone that combined science fiction with horror. Players took control of the unnamed Doom Guy, a lone space marine fighting hordes of demons unleashed from hell through a portal experiment gone wrong.
It was chaotic, intense, and
Yes,
endlessly
UAF Omega,
satisfying.
correct.
One of the most defining aspects of Doom was its modding community. The developers encouraged players to modify and create their own levels, leading to a massive library of custom content that extended the game's lifespan for decades.
You know, so it's funny. Phone Gliding says Sonic. So, as you all know, I'm a massive Sonic fan. It's my second favorite IP in all of gaming after Resident Evil. I'm going to say something controversial here. I don't think there's a particular Sonic game that was a generational game changer for the 90s. I think Sonic as a character was. I think Sonic the Hedgehog as an IP and as a character was defining, but not a particular game. I don't think any particular game would be defining until we get into the 2000s. So yeah, that's my take. I don't think... I'm actually A-okay. No. I know you say Sonic 2. I don't think Sonic 2 would crack a top 10. I don't. I don't think Sonic... No. I don't think Sonic 2 should crack a top 10 list for the top 10 most defining games of the entire decade, right? And I love Sonic 2. I beat it earlier today, by the way. Again. I've been going through and playing all the classic Sonic games. I'm on Sonic 3 and Knuckles now. While I was listening to that Resident Evil slow jazz earlier, I was playing this Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But yeah, no, I think Sonic as a character was very much defining. He was the Attitude Era and the answer to Nintendo. But no, I don't think there's a game from the 90s in the Sonic franchise until maybe Sonic Adventure. Because that outdid, Mario RPG. Like that was, if you look into the history of Sonic Adventure and the things that it did for 3D gaming, that was genre defining. And that was 99. So, like, maybe you can make an argument for that. But I almost think that people would rather make an argument for Sonic Adventure 2, and that'd be the 2000s, because that came out in 2001. Either way, the point is, I don't think any Sonic game in the 90s should crack this list. And again, that's me being objective, because as you guys know, it is my second favorite franchise in all of gaming.
Decades. That openness helped shape gaming culture and the early internet mod scene. What made Doom iconic wasn't just its technology or violence, it was its feel. It created the blueprint for every modern first-person shooter. Fast movement, weapon...
You know what? Actually, I'll take that back. I would put Sonic 2 on this list instead of Command & Conquer. Like, if we're being real, we should swap Command & Conquer with Warcraft. But you can make an argument to swap out Command & Conquer with Sonic 2.
Variety, responsive controls, and gameplay that prioritized pure action over complexity. Doom became a cultural phenomenon, running on everything from home PCs to calculators years later, a testament to its enduring design. It influenced franchises like Quake, Halo, and Call of Duty, and even helped shape esports and online multiplayer culture. More than 30 years later, Doom is still recognized as one of the most important games ever made, a title that didn't just start a genre, but defined how adrenaline and chaos could be turned into art. Tomb Raider, released in 19...
Yeah, I don't know how you could do a 90s without Tomb Raider. I don't know how you could do a 90s without Tomb Raider.
In 1996, Tomb Raider became one of the defining games of the 1990s and helped shape the 3D action-adventure genre. It stood out for its innovative exploration mechanics, cinematic presentation, and the introduction of one of gaming's first true icons, Lara Croft.
Wait. One of the gaming industry's first true icons? How far back do you go? Like, what constitutes as one of the first? Because, I mean, obviously, we got Mario, right? Obviously, we have Sonic. Obviously, we have, Link. Can we call Lara Croft one of the first true icons? One of the first true female icons? Sure. But one of the first true in general? I don't think we can.
Developed by Core Design, Tomb Raider placed players in massive 3D environments that encouraged exploration, puzzle solving, and precision platforming.
No, here's the thing, Toxin. Samus wasn't really an icon. If you look at the sales history of Metroid games, they've never really done that well. They always do fair to bad. So Samus wasn't. Samus was definitely awesome, is awesome, but she never really hit icon status until Smash Bros. Until the advent of Smash Bros, Samus wasn't really an icon because her games were never big sellers.
It was one of the first titles to merge adventure and action in full 3D, setting a new standard for level design and camera work. Each area felt like a living ruin, mysterious, isolated, and filled with traps that rewarded patience and observation. For its time, the controls and movement system were impressively smooth and deliberate.
That is
Lara's jumps,
not
climbs,
a good
and rolls
barometer,
were grid-based but precise,
that's not how I measure
requiring
shit.
players to plan every move carefully. It wasn't about button mashing, it was about mastering timing and rhythm to navigate dangerous terrain. That control scheme became the backbone of 3D exploration games for years to come. Lara Croft immediately became a cultural phenomenon. She was intelligent, confident, athletic, and yes, designed to be visually striking.
Just say sexy, you fucking pussy. Just say sexy. Jesus fucking Christ, it's 2025. She was designed to be sexy. That's fucking fine. There's no problem with that. God damn, bro.
Curvy silhouette and charismatic presence, even with the polygon limits of 1996, helped her stand out. But it was her independence and composure under pressure that made her legendary. She wasn't just a sex symbol, she was a capable adventurer who survived when no one else could. Gameplay mixed platforming, combat, and environmental puzzles.
Oh yeah, this game looks fantastic to this day. Agreed, Solantis. Metroid must have been more popular down under. A heap of people I knew loved it, and Samus was their favorite game character. I don't know how it sold in Australia. Maybe it did, but, like, overall, like, so when you compare Metroid sales to things like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, I think even, like, Star Fox and Kirby, it's just not one of Nintendo's biggest sellers. It's not a bad seller by any means, because, like, they keep it, well, some of them are, but, excuse me, they keep making the games. But yeah, no, like, just compared to Nintendo's other big IPs, Metroid has always been one of their mid-tier ones.
Players uncovered hidden switches, avoided collapsing floors, and discovered secret rooms filled with treasures tucked away behind false walls or deadly traps. These optional challenges rewarded curiosity, making exploration feel meaningful. The game also featured memorable boss fights, often against massive creatures or supernatural beings that tested your mastery of the controls and your nerves. Facing a towering beast in a
I think Castlevania is roped into it just because, like, Metroid and Castlevania are around the same time, and they're the two most iconic franchises that perfected that style of gameplay. So rather than calling something a Metroid clone, they use the term Metroidvania to kind of acknowledge that both of them really solidified the genre.
Find Ruin felt both cinematic and terrifying. Even Lara's death animations became iconic. Dramatic, sometimes unsettling reminders of how fragile survival was. Missing a jump or falling into a spike pit wasn't just failure, it was part of the game's intensity. The danger felt real, and the world felt merciless.
God damn, look at that. Turns out Lara's a lawyer.
It's
an awesome Jurassic Park joke for those of you that don't get it.
Atmosphere was key to its identity. Sparse music, ambient echoes, and vast empty chambers created a feeling of loneliness and awe. The silence between fights, just the sound of footsteps and dripping water, made exploration hauntingly immersive. Technically, Tomb Raider was groundbreaking. Its 3D engine, grid-based physics, and cinematic camera angles showed what mid-90s hardware could do. It felt like an interactive movie and
Dude, I, to this day, remember the very first time I ever played this game. I've told the story so many times, so I'm not going to bother. But that memory is so viscerally burned into my brain.
Later inspired modern adventure series like Uncharted and Assassin's Creed. What made Tomb Raider iconic was its balance of exploration, danger, and character design. It wasn't about constant action, it was about solving ancient mysteries, discovering secrets, and surviving the journey. The success of the first game led to sequels, remakes, and Hollywood films, establishing Lara Croft as one of gaming's most enduring symbols.
Alrighty. And that is that. I had 2 more that we were going to do, but Niet shows in 24 minutes, and we definitely don't have enough time to get through any other videos. So I will just go ahead and mark these to the watch later. And we will do them at a different time. Let's see, give me one moment here. Alright, let me set up the raid in a Niet show. And then I've got to get some lemon juice and maybe a cough drop, because I've still got 3 more streams today. So don't go anywhere. We're going to do some plugs. And then I'm going to set up the raid for Niet. So bear with me. Did it inspire Assassin's Creed? I'm more inclined to believe it inspired the POP trilogy. POP. I feel like I should know what that is, but I don't because I'm retarded. Alright, let's set up this raid. Good show. Oh, Prince of Persia. No, I mean, maybe it did. Prince of Persia as an IP came first, but it did probably inspire, like, the PS2 era ones and whatnot. You're probably correct about that. But no, it probably inspired, Assassin's Creed as well. I mean, it makes a lot of sense if it did. Nope, Vivi, nope, stay away from my camera. Stop that. I love this cat, but goddamn. Alright, where's Niet? Where's Niet? There it is. Alrighty, crew. Here's the dealio. We're gonna raid into Niet. It is his birthday stream today. And there is 40 of you still watching live. I want all 40 of us to raid into his chat right now and say, happy birthday, Niet, Vital Idol raid. Let's show our boy some love, because he's truly one of my best friends on this goddamn platform. I adore that Australian bastard. So let's do it. Before that, tonight around midnight, so in about 5.5 hours-ish, me and Cindy are going to be playing Gauntlet. And, yeah, videos and streams every day. Tomorrow's Countercast. You guys know the drill. So that being said, for those of you that donated, truly, thank you. It means the world to me. Dax, if you would do me a favor, get a count at some point, if you can, so that I know what we did today, because I need to calculate how much I'm going to be able to donate to LMA as well. And then, for those of you that, I'll remind one more time, in the pinned comment, there is a link to the donation, the GoFundMe for Little Miss Anonymous. Again, pillar of the community. She's incredible. She had a bit of a tragedy in the family, and we try to take care of our own here, and we want to give back to her as much as she's given to us. You know, just with her constant being her and being awesome. So, with all that being said, we're going to get out of here. Raid into Niet. Tell him happy birthday and Vital Idol raid. I will see you guys tomorrow. And definitely go to my gaming channel. The Gauntlet show will not be on this channel. It will be on my gaming channel tonight with Cinevere. So hop on over there, hit subscribe, and I will see you there. But until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.